Tigers. Go 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 Tigers.
Mother, there is no other like mother, so treat her right. Mother, I always love her. My mother, so treat her right, treat her right.
Gentlemen.
From the front lines of the information war, it's Alex Jones.
The leading Japanese anime.
Star Wars anime!
Imagine there's no pizza. Partying is cool. Dying is not.
こんにちは。ボンバットファミリーと私たちのライブ放送へようこそ。私たちはあなたの視聴とリスニングの喜びのための素晴らしいショーを持っています。今あなたのホストスコッティ・ジェイロとジェリー・ケーブルにステイ・ボンバードを楽しんで覚えておいてください。
Welcome to the Bombadcast.
What is up, Bombad fam? It's me, the Cannon Junkie. It's good to see you or be with you here tonight. Listen, you've made it. It's Bombad Thursday again. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud, baby birds. It's okay. It's okay. We're here now. We're here. There's no need to fret. Because, guys, you have arrived at a little YouTube channel, again titled the Bombadcast. We do some things here. We do go on, guys. Every Wednesday, you can catch my boy Scotty Jarod at 8 Central Time, playing just any kind of little video game that little bastard can get his grubby little hands on. It's great. He has a good time. I believe he's been playing Switch Sports. Which is, it's kind of like Wii Sports, but completely different and yet the same at the same time. Listen, guys, if you don't like the way I describe video games, then you should probably go check out my Nintendo Direct coverage that I did a few months back. You'd love it. But anyway, check out my boy Scotty on Wednesdays playing games. And guys, do you like crocodile people? Do you like Rick McCallum? Do you like Jar Jar Binks? Do you like a couple of really handsome studs who really know how to hang their jackets off their shoulders? Then you will love the Bombadcast. Yes, that is the main show every Thursday. We're here hanging out, slurping on some kind of fizzy drink. Usually, I don't know, maybe ham boning the latest Journey album. I don't know, guys. We do a lot of stuff on here. But before I continue any further, look at all this. Look at this. You've got, these are the hits, baby. These are the hits. And you know what? Before Tim Cook and Willie Nelson here, look at this. Look at this. You want to see someone who really, really defines what it means to stay Bombad? I'm going to bring in my co-host. I'm going to bring in my buddy, my Bombad bosom buddy, Scotty Jarod. Scotty.
Howdy.
What's up, bud?
We're talking memories. We're getting our feelings hurt. No, we're going to get our feelings feeling good. That's what we're doing tonight.
To make everyone cry. Everyone is going to cry. That is
I don't know about crying. I can tell you this much. I'm pumped to just have, like, look at this. My cousin Troy's here.
Troy.
Oh man. Well, the one I'm excited for is he's going to be involved with a couple of these stories as well that we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to get in our feelings. We're going to get our feeling Bombad.
We're feeling our feelings tonight. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Man.
Free therapy. Free therapy at the Bombad.
Yes.
Don't go telling people that.
You do in fact know about crying. I've become viral from it. So I guess I surely
do it often.
So
we do it often.
Let's real quick. I want to plug something. Next week is our celebration hype stream. We're going to be talking about our plans, our giveaways. I've got a bunch of buttons over here. I'm going to pick up about 70 more buttons tomorrow that are the size of my palm. They are presidential elect buttons.
Yes. They are we like Ike buttons, but not about liking Ike.
They're about staying Bombad, if you will. But I got to hype up next week. This is no joke. 100% real. This may seem like a bit. I'm going to 1,000%. I'm just gonna say it's not a bit to begin with. We have been in talks. This is no joke. I'm not even joking.
This is
Y'all
serious.
gonna think I'm joking. Y'all gonna think I'm joking. You really do. Yes, Jarod. Look at this. My dad's here. Jarod hands.
Hey, Chris. What's up, buddy?
That's
Jarod
amazing. Okay, so I'm not kidding when I say this. Jerry and I have been in talks with a very large toy company who's going to showcase their Star Wars Celebration toys on the stream. I'm actually not kidding. They're sending me a toy.
Hasbro, and it's another trooper.
It's not. It's not. It's honestly, this is gonna sound bad.
This one is purple.
This one is purple. No, this is a better company than Hasbro. That might be bold, but I think I've bought several things from this company because of the quality of it. So all I'm gonna say, I'll tell you the price for the figure just to give y'all a picture. The price of the figure is $150. So we're gonna have a pretty big toy company, and they're not just known for toys. They're known for buying old video games. That's all I'm gonna say. So we are actually having a representative.
You might almost give away the store if you're, Yeah, they're also known for producing very affordable bologna.
What? I don't know. No way.
It's Oscar Mayer.
So I won't tell you. This is no joke. We are gonna. That's next week. They're gonna come on and showcase their stuff. They haven't got approval from their Japanese marketing team yet, but they're gonna push our show. I don't know how they found us.
Michael, not Ben.
I don't know what they did to see us and go, okay, great. Beautiful, beautiful idea. Look at this. My dad's at a powerboat convention. While we're going to Star Wars conventions, my dad's going to a powerboat convention. So We all have our isms. We all have our isms.
Yeah, we all have those isms. We all got to scratch those isms.
Powerboat isms. We all do it. You
have fun motorboating, whatever you're doing there, Chris. I hope you're having fun motorboating the at the boat convention.
Okay,
the motorboat convention.
Enough of the plugging. You'll get an update hopefully by Saturday. We're very surprised that this is happening, and they're sending us stuff. So we've made some good friends. That being said, tonight's episode is going to be a blast. Alden, I know, has the first one who's going to come up. I got a couple other people waiting in the studio. We're going to send the link out in a minute, but Gerry and I are going to talk for just a moment about our childhood Star Wars memories. I got some slideshows pulled up, and the first thing I want to ask you, Gerry, is we come from a weird generation where our interest, obviously, it wasn't like in the 70s. I know they had different TV shows, different fandoms you could enjoy, like Star Trek, obviously, and other things that were popular in the late 70s. But when Star Wars came on the scene, and I think it just blew everything out the water. I think it was the first to create the marketing and merchandising of a movie and to hype up a movie in this way. But we are 90s kids, and that's very important to address.
Right.
Because by the time the 90s and the late 80s, the time the 90s and the late 80s came around, other franchises were huge. So you, funny enough, if I'm not mistaken, you're kind of like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles age. You're kind of like Ghostbusters, obviously. And I wanted to bring that in only because I think it's pretty important to address. There you go, literally, podcast.
Yeah, my boy. So, I mean, this is my boy podcast.
That's right. So this is what I wanted to say. What was your other interest before we get into the Star Wars talk? What was the things that kind of put you, in Gerry's zone as a young little kid? What was it?
Well, I mean, I think I've talked about like how my parents basically, no one paid attention to ratings back then. They were like, oh, let's take our kids to see this movie. But I was raised on, like a steady diet of E.T., Back to the Future, Indiana Jones, all of that. I mean, Star Wars as well. Star Wars, though, for some reason came a little later for me.
Yeah.
But like Ghostbusters, all of that. I was like all in for all of that.
Yeah.
And that was like I never missed a Saturday morning for the real Ghostbusters cartoon. Yeah. Like when it was coming out still, and I was like right at the tail end and all that kind of stuff. I was the tail end of the 80s. I was 1987. But that really, I think, kind of put me in a mindset of course that honestly, my parents made me a nerd. That's what they did. They made me a film nerd. They made me just like a guy who like I believed it, like in ghosts. I still I had like this. I had grand theories.
Just wait, the way you said like I believe in ghost.
I mean, I had this weird theory about ghosts. Because again, I grew up very Christian, right?
Pause.
Everything. Hold on.
Read that out loud.
Oh, hey, Skit, gotta run. We were at a bikini contest. Love you, son. Proud of y'all. Hey, love you, Chris. Good judging, sir. Good judging. I don't know if you're a judge or not, but like, have fun spectating. Okay. Your father lives the life. That's all I gotta say.
I got 2 stories to tell about this in a second. Gerry, keep going. I'm so sorry. I'm starring this.
No, listen. I will stop pontificating for the great Chris Jarod. All right.
Oh,
excuse me.
I
will stop.
I love that about your childhood because my childhood, in a weird way, was similar. It wasn't Ghostbusters. Yeah. It wasn't TMNT. No. It wasn't Power Rangers because I know that was part of a lot of kids in the 90s as well. That was big for me too because I remember not being allowed to play Power Rangers on the playground because people were afraid. That's back, the Satanic Panic. Everyone was afraid that kids were going to karate kick someone's head off or something, or parents were afraid someone was going to karate kick someone's. And green ooze would come out or something, just like super 90s.
Yeah. Really 90s.
Oh,
they'd explode like the putties did in like later seasons of Power Rangers. Anyway, go on. Please continue.
That's hilarious. Well, my generation was a little bit different, and we're only 8 years apart. But like my interest by the early 2000s, like 99, 98, because I was born in 95, was primarily Pokemon, and that whole craze of that really was in itself.
Right.
N64, like Mario games are what I grew up with. And, you know, we come from generations where media was accessible on like on a grander scale.
Yes.
You know, like we were televised and broadcast all different types of things. And, you know, we just, it depended on what school you went to. Trey said this the other night. It's like, just depends on, and Michael did too. Like wherever you were, that was your interest, right? And whoever you were around was part of your interest. And like my father, for example, showed me Star Wars growing up, and we'll bring that up in a moment. But I want to go back to my dad's comment just for a moment. So he called me Skit. Okay, my nickname for my dad is Skit Dog. Okay. And it's always has been.
I
Skit
thought that
Dog.
was just like a reaction where I thought he was like Skit, Skit.
No,
you know, like,
no, it's Skit
bikini
Dog.
contest, Skit.
When I get on the phone with him, it was what's going on, Skit. That's my nickname.
That's awesome.
It's named after
way better than what I came up with.
One of his former coworkers, I guess, his nickname was Skit Dog, and his name was actually Scott. So he just called me Skit. And there's a great story to this. One time I was at a bar with my dad, and one of my dad's customers came in. He saw my dad, right? And he's like, "Oh, Chris, you know," and he goes up to me and this is so funny. He goes to me, he goes, "What do they call you?" Skit. I said, Skit. He goes, "Skeet Nut." Always made me laugh. Skeet Nut. And I'm
I smell a t-shirt.
Skeet Nut. Oh, I'm red. Oh, Jesus. Woo! Oh, man. I also want to bring this
the myth,
up.
the legend, Chris
Galanorian Saber made an insane like future reference earlier because we talked about how we had the Japanese ad. And then we have a Japanese company coming on next week. That's all I'm going to say. So that was just really kind of weird.
You keep saying that's all you're going to say. Then you say more.
Skeet Nut J-Ro. Oh, Skit Dog. Hip-hop,
oh, I know what somebody's nickname at Celebration is going to be.
Skeet Nut. So
it's fun. Let me just say, I have had a beer with Scotty's dad. It's fun.
That's
true.
Just
going to say. I'm just going
to say.
Beer
and jambalaya.
Scotty's dad's fun.
It could not be more.
Oh, that jambalaya. Don't get me started on Troy's dad's jambalaya. All right.
Here we go.
This is going to be a whole episode. All right.
Getting him started.
A whole episode.
So, to all my skeet nuts out there, that sounds so gross. Let's talk.
Hey, skeet nuts.
Jerry, where did Star Wars come in for you? Like, what was the path? What was the path it took to get to your life? Because we all have our paths. What was it? Who was it? Was it your dad? Was it your family?
The earliest memory, honestly, that I have of it, I think, is my cousin Joey. He was, and again, he's, you know, was like several years old. He was like a teenager, I think, when I was a younger kid and everything.
Okay.
And I remember going over to their house and he was showing me, I remember him explaining to me, because I was really big into Thundar the Barbarian from Hanna-Barbera.
I remember this. We talked this years ago.
Yeah. He's
oh
got
my
like,
God.
He's got like the little hilts, you know, that's the sun sword and things like that. And he was like, look, these are like sun swords, but cooler. And at the time I was like, you kidding me? Come on. It's a sword hilt with a flaming sword that comes out. Nothing can be cooler than that. And he showed me like I remember seeing a little bit of the Empire Strikes Back duel. I don't know, because this was early 90s, right? Yeah. I don't know how he's like, if he like had a VHS or whatever and like was, but somehow I saw a little bit of that.
It was
fantastic, you know, which is, again, it wasn't just like looking up a YouTube clip. I remember somehow seeing that. I remember being at my grandma Cable. So these are my earliest memories. And I've talked about these on stream, but like being at my grandma Cable's house, watching the Empire Strikes Back was on and everyone was in the living room. I just remember like my cousins, my aunts and uncles, and my parents, and everyone was quiet. Like there was almost, I remember like a reverence almost. I don't know if I've brought up that aspect of it, but everyone was quiet. Because I've told, that's the story where I'm like, I was like, it was kind of creepy. It was on Dagobah, and Yoda was a small little green dude, you know, which, I mean,
he freaked you out, didn't he?
I guess I was freaked out by small little green dudes. No offense to small little green dudes. But like, you know, it was, I just remember being a little like, you know, oh, why is it dark and spooky? What's going on? But also being intrigued. But I do remember that reverence that was there with my family watching Empire Strikes Back on TV at my grandmother's. And those are the moments that really, I feel like, are the formative, like, oh, there's this thing out there. And then again, finally, I got that very You can't see it right here on stream, but like that very Faces, like the last original trilogy released before the special editions. My parents got that, and it was just all over from then. You know, special editions in the theater, all that, and that's my journey to that. And then there was Phantom Menace. It just has never stopped.
Yeah, that's the thing, and we'll get into that when we bring our guest on to kind of talk about, you know, where their journey started. You know, obviously we know where it is now. You're on the Bombadcast. Sorry, Skeet Nuts, but I think I really do find it important to address where it started. And, you know, a lot of us have different pathways. Mine was the same Faces box set, which I think is why we're, you know, brothers in Bombad. But, you know, I didn't see the special editions in theaters. I was too young. But when the Phantom Menace rolled around, I remember seeing it. I just remember the opening crawl on the pod race scene. But like that within itself, I mean, look who I am today. Look what we do right now. Obviously had a very, very huge impact. But the thing I think people tend to forget the most was before every Faces box set VHS, they had the one last time ad, and like that's how I got my gist of Star Wars. Like that's how I was like, oh, okay, this is how it connects. This is the way you need to watch them, and I think it's pretty important. And I have a huge list. I'll even show the camera. I have an unbelievably big list of memories, and I don't want to bore you all with them right now. We will go through them. It's an unreal amount. I want to get
anything for the great Skeet Nut. You go on as long as you want, buddy. Okay.
Thank you. But we'll talk about our individual memories when we go between guests. Alden does have to do something pretty soon, so I'm going to bring our wonderful Skeet Nut on. Let me get a video pulled up to get him hyped up. Here we go.
All right. Here we.
Who invited you here?
Well.
Hey, look at that guy. Oh,
you're muted, buddy. Unmute it. Look at the McCallum.
I mean,
some McCallum merch.
Yes.
That's right, baby. That's right.
Look at that, my guy McCallum glory.
Oh, he's the best. He's the best. He's essential to our Star Wars memories in a lot of ways.
That's right.
That is going to be a sought after celebration t-shirt. I'm just saying right now, the one that you're wearing right now, that is a sought after celebration level event.
It really will be. I mean, that's the stuff, right? I mean, that's watching the beginning and watching all of those behind the scenes featurettes and being like, who's that guy? What a great job. He just walks around.
That's from Attack of the Clones as well. Like
this is from Clones,
shirt as well. So
for people want to know, like that's a rare, I think probably one of the only like joking photos of Hayden really that you can find.
True.
He and McCallum's wedding.
You know what's funny? I want to bring everyone back to almost 2 years ago. No, it really was 2 years ago. We had a live stream together in March of 2020, and that's kind of what kicked off our live stream fever. So, Alden, here you are again, bringing the bacon.
That feels like a different time, a different universe.
It really
so much has changed since then. So many bits. So much joy.
so many bits, so little time, my man.
Oh, it's amazing.
What an era. But yeah, thanks for letting us call in. Thanks for letting me jump in here right at the top.
Well, I got a picture of you. Can I pull that up real quick?
Yeah, I sent you a memories photo because I love the thumbnail of all these little cutie versions of us.
Let's see. Here it is. This is a great picture. Check this out, y'all.
Little baby faces.
Look at this little
Look
baby
at
boy.
that cute little guy.
Look at that big ass head. I just kind of grew into it.
you hadn't even learned that you're not supposed to touch the blade of the lightsaber.
What an idiot I was. What an idiot.
But you're like, my hand hurts. Like,
but let me tell you why this photo, why that saber. I was, and I think maybe Star Wars and being a nerd in general maybe made us a lot of us this way. Specificity, right? Specificity is key.
Okay.
Like we're at the store and it's like, oh, it's your birthday, it's whatever. Like, okay, like which one do you want? And it's like, if it was just Anakin or Obi lights, I couldn't do it. I couldn't have a blue one.
Wow.
It had to be. I was that kid. Like we would write a Santa's wish list in class or whatever in school,
right?
And I would write, "Dear Santa, I really want Anakin and Count Dooku from Attack of the Clones, but specifically the ones that are," I don't know if I used the word specifically, but I'd be like, but I want the ones that are 12 inches tall, like the Barbie looking ones, because I wanted to really recreate the scenes. And so that green, once I found it, I latched onto it. And it also had to be one that you could fling out, that would fling out.
Yeah.
Now at the time, now, you know, like Jerry, your daughter, this generation has it all. They have the ones that go all the way inside the hilt. Which we didn't have. We only had the fling outs.
She's got a new version of the flip out though. That's what I say. So she's old school. She's a little old school.
Yeah, I know they got some flip out build ones and stuff. And I remember thinking like, okay, I can actually do it. I can make the scenes, and that green was essential to me because that was Luke's green from Return of the Jedi. That was the scene that like I based my entire life around, was the Death Star 2 duel. And so for me, all my childhood memories were about like totems. Thank you, William. That's right. I'm like Luke in that. Oh, you like that, Boop? You like that? You like that Grogu tattoo right here?
Look at those fantastic tats, man.
Wow. All right, sorry, didn't have these as a kid, but
look at that.
Damn.
But
you know.
Wow.
You
so
know,
wait,
Alden. So, you know.
Jerry, I know Jerry's a very similar story to this. Jerry, we talked on the phone yesterday because trying to pitch this episode. Tell us your story because he has a very similar
about being specific.
Very specific. Yes, Jerry, this is hilarious. I'm going to love this.
I wish this is on. So what do you got to know about my parents? I love them. I have my sister and myself.
You starting with "I love them" is like.
Just wait. My sister, you think I'm a boob? Like my sister and I have drugged my parents kicking and screaming into the 21st century.
Yeah.
Not like they're not like super against, but just like my parents are just like holding on to like the dying forms of media forever. There are VHSs that they have. There's a VHS somewhere of me at a birthday party getting what I know to be it was good. It was my first lightsabers when they first started selling them. Oh, hey, boo, love you. But they so I knew I was getting a lightsaber because it was the long, you know, like wrapping paper and everything. You could tell what it was.
Yeah.
They had just it was right when they started releasing the Power of the Force lightsabers and stuff. So all they had was Luke and Vader's. I wanted Luke's. I'm opening that thing up. I'm like, oh, I can't believe it. I know what this is. It's the dark side. Because it was Darth Vader. Because the little bitch that I was like, I want Luke Skywalker. I'm Luke Skywalker.
Well, because you were a good.
What are you trying to say about
you're
me?
a good little
I'm an
Christian
old
boy.
Man with exactly. I was a good Christian boy.
Good Christian boy can't have that.
Eyebrows. Yeah. A bald head with a big chunk out of it.
Why would you have that? No, you're pure.
No.
Little Jerry looks
and
so pure in
Vader,
those photos.
Yeah, look at this. Look at pure little Jerry.
The Darth Vader lightsaber back then was a little more pink. Not that it's but it was more like the Empire Strikes Back version, like where you know how it's like a little lighter. It's not like deep red.
What's going on, Nick?
And everything like they've kind of messed with the color correction and everything. But
I
was just like, I wanted the green though. I wanted,
of course.
To if I can steal this from someone, I wanted to ignite the green. You know?
And look at and that exactly, and because the green, I mean, it's just like I respected, of course, the Jedi that had the blue, but at the time, the green really did have a little bit of the mystique. Because less of your heroes had it. It was like, wow, that's Jedi Luke and Qui-Gon
and Yoda.
And like that's really like that's the big roster.
Top tier.
It's like those top tier guys on that roster. And so it meant a lot. And I latched on to the iconography that was like in the scenes. I wanted to recreate things. Even now that I still have to unlearn that. Like I'll play Lego The Skywalker Saga now. And I'll have two characters together from two different eras, and I have to remind myself to chill because I'll be like, oh, I'm playing with like old Luke, but I can't have old Luke and Boss Nass. Like that doesn't make any sense. And it's like I have to be like, no, like it's not.
Order it.
Let go of that brain of because back then I would be like, well, I have my toy N1.
Yes,
I can't play with like Spider-Man while I play with that. He's not in that universe. Like
it's not possible.
It's impossible. We had the same childhood because it was compartmentalized. Like I don't know if that means like that I had no imagination, or I had a very good imagination.
I think it was
whatever.
that we wanted to be in a lot of ways because it with
we
with the whole topic, right? With the whole topic of childhood memories, this is the only franchise. I mean, kids now have Kevin Feige, but back then you might know who Spielberg is, but you couldn't name his filmography, talk about his philosophy. You couldn't say who made Wizard of Oz. You couldn't say who made
was the only
Goonies.
kid. I mean, I couldn't say that. Yeah, no.
Yeah, but you knew George.
Say the Spielberg though.
Yeah, of course.
George.
Yeah, but you knew George, and you knew
absolutely.
how to make it, and like in your mind how to make it, and like what it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
And now it's like it just always stayed with you. Like it really informed sort of what your childhood was. So I would take things like I didn't like to play with other kids in the neighborhood because they didn't take it as seriously.
There you go.
So that was a big thing.
I
think that's still how I am on Twitter, to be honest.
This kid was pissed that other kids in the neighborhood didn't take Star Wars serious enough for him. And that is just the most Alden Diaz thing in the world I have ever heard.
Did you guys ever have like a kid you were like, were you ever playing with someone back in the day and they're like, hey, let's play Star Wars. And they're like, okay, I want to be Star Wars. Or like, can I be X-Man or something? You know,
I don't play with those morons. No,
my good friend Olivia always called Darth Vader, or not always. She did it until I corrected her. She called Darth Vader Death Vader, and I was like, no,
I've never heard that one. I've heard Darth Vader.
Dude, the best one too was with the Sonic franchise. I had a kid say, "I want to be Black Sonic." I said, "His name's Shadow." I was 6 years old.
You uncultured swine.
I was like, his name's
Shadow. All right.
Well, I remember like being on the playground and it was me, my buddy Connor, who was my kindergarten best friend.
Oh, sorry.
No, not him. I don't think I could have handled him at that young age. And so it was me, this kid Connor, and he was a Luke guy. I was Han, and I would be like, no, we can't start playing it because we don't have a Leia. He said we could just do a Luke Han thing. I was like, what? Even as a 5-year-old, I was like, what are you talking about? Like, you got to have the trio. So that's how we literally went, found a girl, and I know her to this day. Like, she just got married. Like, this is how we found our friend Francesca. I went up to her. I said, you know Star Wars? And she was like, yeah. I said, you know Princess Leia? She said, yeah. I said, okay, you're Princess Leia. Come on. And I was like, now we can start. And sometimes there'd be kids of like, we can have 2 Hans. I'd be like, oh, shut up. No, we can't.
That's not possible.
Like,
we don't get participation trophies in Star Wars. There are no participation trophies in Star Wars. Tell that to Bail Organa.
Let me tell you an important one. And the other day, I told this story to our friend Ken Knapsack, and he agreed that this kid was an asshole. So in kindergarten, it's a 5-year-old. First day, it's like sit next to somebody. This kid full of rage. This little Alden right here sits down next to a kid who, because of our uniforms, one of the polo shirt options, there are no Han clones. There is no Han. You could have a white polo shirt. So this is a kid in a white shirt with shaggy blonde hair, and the kid's name is Luke. And he said, I said, what? He goes, what's your name? I said, my name's Alden. I said, what's your name? He said, Luke. And me as a 5-year-old, I freaked out because he looked like Luke and his name was Luke. Yeah. And little did I know that he's probably named after the biblical Luke. Boring. And I said, I said, Luke Skywalker. And I guess his parents hadn't shown him anything good. And he thought I was making fun of him. Like, he didn't know what that was.
No way.
So this little bastard goes and tattles on me. He goes and tells the teacher. I hope you're watching.
He's Mormon for sure.
And he goes and tells the teacher.
They tell on this kid.
Look at that.
That sweet little Skywalker.
Right. So then the teacher comes over to me, and even as a 5-year-old, I understood that like this was BS, right? Like I was like, you're a grown. Like I thought that Star Wars was like similar to you, Jerry. Like Star Wars was the thing that the grown-ups knew too. So when she came up to me and was like, oh, hey, I heard that you called Luke a name, like make sure you don't do that or whatever. And I tried to explain, and she was like, no, you can't do that. You have to be careful. And gave me the whole 5-year-old spiel. And I'm looking at her, I'm like, lady, I know you know Luke Skywalker. Like, what's wrong with you?
What if she was like, oh, I bet he's making a reference that he'd like to cut his hand off or something, and that just won't fly. Or so like, wait, you can't cut your classmate's hand off. All like she like was too in the know. She overthought it.
She was reading like EU. She was like,
so
no.
he looked at her and he said,
did you call him Luke?
I called him Luke Skywalker.
No. He looked at her and said, "You don't understand the tapestry, lady." That's
exactly what he said. You don't. Yeah.
He said, "You don't
she
get
didn't.
it." He said, "You don't understand it."
Nope. Yeah, I took it. I took it all very seriously as a kid. I would bring it up in school. I don't know if you guys did that, but whenever it was relevant, like even. This is later, but like middle school when they first taught us about the hero's journey, you feel like a fucking smarty pants because you know about Campbell and stuff like that. Like that's like snooty childhood, like 11, 12 years old. You'd be like, well, when Luke was looking at the twin sons, that was what.
That's amazing. Because I remember when we learned about, and this was like 5th or 6th grade, when you learned about, I forget the beginning of the story, build up, climax, and I forget what the structure is called. But, I remember
the whole narrative.
I was like
the hill.
I remember, the narrative. But so I raised my hand and I'm like, so the climax of Revenge of the Sith is whenever Anakin gets his legs and arms cut off, and the teacher was like, "Yeah," I'm like, "Okay, I get it." I get that. Like, and I'm literally like 11 saying that. She's like, what the hell's wrong with that kid? Like, what is happening?
She like writes quietly in a notebook, psycho.
Yeah. I remember there was one guy, you know how schools have, and you know how schools, I'm talking to a teacher over here. You know the staff members that they're like kind of administration, but they're also kind of security, but they're also kind of like, they monitor the halls, things like that. We had this one in middle school named Joel. When he was a younger guy, so he was like, I'm 11, 12, and he's in his 20s, and he was a nerd. And when in 5th grade, actually, when I like was running down the hall right as the last bell, and he goes, "Why are you running?" And I was like, "Episode 3," like because I was running to my mom's car because she's gonna take me straight there. And he was like, "Go, go, go,
go, little guy, go!"
And then I saw him the next day. He was like, "How was it?" Because he was going like later that day, and he would like excuse me being late to class, like so we could talk about the movie and stuff, and like. Great guy.
That's amazing. See, and those are the memories I think that are made, and like this whole episode's mantra, fond childhood memories. Like that may be such a fleeting memory, but for some reason, for them, it might be non-existent to them. But for someone like you, I mean, those are those moments that like truly like had a deep effect on you, and like that's who you are now. That's who we are now as creators, but also as just people who love this franchise and are fortunate enough to get it back. And I think that's part of this discussion. When we all left the theater in 2005, and we'll bring in our other guests in a moment to talk about this as well. But when we left that theater in 2005, we had to cherish those memories so much more because we thought it was over. And so I think as kids, we had to psychologically say to ourselves, like, look, let's preserve this because this means something to us. I got so many stories written down of just things that I remember doing around, 6, 7, 8, and 9 that were all Star Wars related, because I knew that one day, or I knew that since it was ending, that I guess my little kid brain said, remember this, like, this is something you want to take with you. So it's weird how much that leaves a mark on you as a person who experienced it. But for someone who said it to you, it might not be anything to them. It's just, it's very beautiful.
And I also wonder, about the kids now, how it will compare, because it's bittersweet, right? To say the sentence out loud, we'll never see the end of Star Wars.
Yep.
Like I will never know
how it truly is.
I'll never know. Like it's like unless like the third world war breaks out tomorrow and like there's an economic collapse and Hollywood burns, like it would need so many things would need to happen to stop it. We'll never like. And it's just crazy. Like we might know how certain characters, like we saw the whole life of Han, but I might never see the whole story of Finn. I might never know what happens with Grogu.
It's kind of nice too. It leaves you wondering. And like for a while there, for those, and I know it was only 3 years to the Clone Wars movie, but for most of us, it was 10 years to The Force Awakens, that was part of it. That was part of that experience, having to come to terms with the fact that it was technically over. Well, before you move on, because I know you got something else to do in the next 20 minutes, Alden, anything you want to say before you leave?
I would say that the thing that is so important about episodes like this and about talking about this stuff is that it's not just generational. Like it's not just stuff like that you'll pass down or that you'll tell your kids, but it's the stuff that you can do, that you can take the time to focus on this stuff to sort of remember why it's like when your parents are like clearly unhappy and they want to get divorced, but they don't because of your dumbass. So they have to go and they have to like try to learn to love each other again and date. And they have to like try to get the romance back. You have to do that with Star Wars sometimes. I did an episode of my show with our buddy Jarod from TNAP, and we called the episode Renew Your Vows with Star Wars. And a great way to renew your vows with Star Wars is to strip it all away and think about if my podcast was canceled, if Twitter went away, if everything, like, why would I be into this? And for me, it's like, because of the green lightsaber, because of those moments. Like you guys watch the Boba gallery and when Doug Chang is sitting, Scotty, we talked about it. Like we were crying at like 1 a.m, crying about like Doug. Like that made me think about
it was so cool
how much it meant to me to hold that and play with it as a kid. And so you just gotta like really let go of, like George says it all the time, like it's for 12-year-olds, and it's like that's true.
It is,
and that's okay. So
we can interpret it as adults and enjoy it as adults, but ultimately the story should be to that younger generation to have these discussions, to have these experiences, to share these memories, to realize what the story's themes are supposed to be and where they could take your life,
I mean, I think that is it Joseph Scrimshaw? I can't remember if Joseph Scrimshaw said it or if he was quoting someone else, but Star Wars is best understood by adults and best loved by children.
That's right.
It's like, I know, right?
Just a Scrimshaw quote.
It does, right? It's like he's just a casual genius. He is like
Scrimshaw needs to just write like a phrase a day calendar or something. Something better than a phrase a day calendar.
I know, and
like a book of knowledge, like Plato.
That's what gets me. Is like sometimes people like they get so into the minutia, which we love, but they confuse knowing with loving, which in my comparison that I always say is that like loving Star Wars is like a human relationship where I do love this person, Katie. You don't love everything about her, Katie. Scotty can you turn into like Tim the Toolman Taylor.
Ski nut.
And also a little bit of Adam Sandler there. I love how I was doing that.
About the son of a bitch.
This is gonna be a clip now. But like you don't love everything about that person, but you love them. And so with that ebb and flow, you look back into like falling in love with Star Wars, like when you go on that first date with that special someone and you don't know everything about them, but you're like, whether you believe in love at first sight or not, you're like, I just want to be with you all the time, everything, but you still didn't know. So you fill your brain with knowledge and Wikipedia articles and stuff like that, but the love comes from kids that are calling Darth Vader Death Vader or whatever.
That's right.
That girl said. Like,
exactly.
She didn't know, but she liked it.
Right. Oh, that's beautiful. Alden, thank you for joining us for that moment, because there's a lot of these things. I love you. I talk to Alden more. I talk to anyone else in my family. Alden's like a brother to me now. It's
like what's beautiful is that we're about to reunite in a couple weeks. All of us met face to face at the last celebration. So
Scotty and I've never met.
I never met Alden.
I caught you during the one like a couple of hours where you were alone, Jerry. I cornered you like the little fox that you are.
Scotty's like, I'm gonna go over here and jerk off at this McCallum panel. I'm like, you have fun. I'm gonna go to the stage.
Yeah, I found little Jerry giving out his little buttons. I was like, who's this cutie patootie?
very blurry buttons, which I will have. Again, I do have a handful I will be handing out.
I still got it. Yep. I still got it.
There we go. It's beautiful. Well, that's the joy
Alden,
of
thank
this.
you seriously, friend, for coming on. Love you.
Thank you. I'll talk to you in the group chat.
Probably in the next 6 minutes.
Probably right now.
Calling in about 5 minutes.
Okay. So Alden was wonderful as always. I want to bring up a few of our memories before you bring Boop in, because Boop needs to have their time to shine. Let me bring up a couple. So I wrote down a few, and I want to fire them off quickly. So obviously, TPM VHS was in my VHS player constantly. I did find a photo, though I did not put it in the slideshow. Of just the empty box. I can just see it in the background, and I know what I was watching that day. I also remember, this is a bitter memory, and you might have one of these too.
Okay.
Whenever I was done playing with my toys, my mom would always donate them to a charity, to someone, that would be able to benefit more from them. And like when Pokemon got so big,
good thing to do.
Yes, of course. And when like N64 and like those things got much bigger for me, in between Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones, that 3-year period, all of but like I think like 2 Phantom Menace toys were given away, including the N1 Starfighter, and I don't blame her for it. I'm not mad. That's just what people do. It was
what moms do.
Yeah.
My parents thought that everything was going to be worth so much more money, but they didn't know they shouldn't have let me take it out of the box. So I luckily kept all my stuff, because I think my parents thought they'd be able to sell it and pay for my college. And it's in my closet right now.
Well, it's funny because none of those TPM figures are really worth that much. Like they just weren't, because they made so many of them, and they weren't, so hot, and they weren't so
right.
The Kenner ones were so sought after because everyone took them out the box, But like we can go to Celebration 2 weeks from now and grab like 4 box Wattos for like probably $20. Like realistically, it's just kind of how those things fall into place. Another couple of them, I remember having a Phantom Menace coloring book, and Pete Fletcher a few months back.
So hold on, let's see if I can find it. What do we got?
I think I just need to print these out and just put them all over the convention. George's coloring fun.
We should just hand out coloring pages,
which I find kind of questionable. I don't know why Pete had a copy of this one. And this is the famous Qui-Gon and Jar Jar like side by side. Have you seen this before? It's incredible.
Yeah, this was our podcast
logo
for a little bit.
This is our very first logo. Yes,
this was like it was like one of the first logos,
very first ones. Let's see if I can find it. But you know what? Coloring books obviously still exist, but there's just something about these that is just so nostalgic. God. Oh, look at this one's pretty good. I've never seen this one. This is gonna be us in Celebration. This one's just a slurp. Oh man.
No, you're reminding me even of like memories that I'd forgotten until like you talked about like the Phantom Menace VHS. I remember my mom bought it on her way from work when the day it came out. Because I begged her, and so like got home, I threw that thing in the VHS player and was like wearing it out. Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, that was intense. And you know what's funny? Like these memories are obviously very big to us now. And I think a lot of it does come from the fact that we want to remember them and we want to have these memories. And I have a couple that I remember very well. Now I'm sure a lot of us like played Make Pretend at some point. When I was a kid, this is so me, it's ridiculous. When I was a kid, I remember being like 9 and like being in the shower. Okay, this is no joke. And putting my
where's this going?
No, just wait. Putting my my CD player like outside the shower, like on like where you would wash your face and stuff or brush your teeth. And I put this is no joke, Revenge of the Sith CD soundtrack on, and I remember making one. This memory still stuck with me because I remember I had this one like I guess just make pretend memory of me and Mace Windu. I don't remember my Jedi name. I remember giving my Jedi a name, and we were attacking battle droids in a fallen Jedi temple. And I don't know if it was Coruscant, but that was like as a kid where I don't know. You're getting your own world.
You have your own. Beautiful. Yeah, you have your situations that you daydream about.
Yes, of course. And that was the one. Like I remember, like listening to Battle of the Heroes, and like me and Mace are killing a bunch of battle droids. So that's one of those ones I remember very well. Did you ever have any like imaginary scenarios that you used to play out in your head? Like any that you remember when you showered?
Does that have to be specifically from the shower?
No, this is like, it's gonna be either from a young age or an older age, if you know what I'm talking about.
Well, in that case,
no.
I had a specific one where like I was wearing the Qui-Gon wig in the shower, and no, I'm just playing.
The one that was lost in the
one that
dunes?
blew away. No,
yeah, the one that blew away.
Effing grim. No, not real. Like I can't remember anything specific. I mean, I would daydream about like slicing up battle droids and stuff.
Yeah, of course.
One thing I remember doing is like the little sticks that you can adjust your blinds.
Oh yeah.
You could unhook it, and that would be because like in the original trilogy, the lightsabers are like really thin looking, and I was like, this looks more realistic than the flip out ones and stuff.
Of
and
course.
So like early, I would pretend like I had one. I would like be doing this.
That's awesome.
With that,
you know what's funny?
In my room,
if you swung those hard enough, they would go.
Like
they would. Yeah, that's
exactly.
part of it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Mm-hmm.
God,
and it's just
good.
like then you're just like, oh, I'm making a cool noise,
Oh, of course.
But no, like you want to know one. This isn't Star Wars related. The one specific daydream I always had when I was shopping with my mom in Walmart.
Oh, I love this.
A T-Rex would be I would like daydream about Jurassic Park, like a T-Rex like storming through Walmart and eating people.
That's awesome.
I'm a psychopath. But also, anyway, we talked about the Ghostbusters, how that really scratched that itch for me. Yeah.
When you have your peyote trips, you still do that. And you call me. And I think it's wonderful because we all had those same scenarios where you'd be in a public place and I've seen kids do this. They're like talking to themselves and like doing stuff. And you're like, what is happening? And I'm like, you know what? Let that kid have that moment. Don't like even look at him. Let him have those moments. And it part of it's because that's you let your brain wander so frequently as a kid, and as an adult, you tend to kind of suppress those like creative thoughts unless you're really doing something to apply it to. But as a kid, the imagination's everywhere and it's beautiful. But there was one I'll never forget. I remember there's the scene in the Phantom Menace where the explosion happens behind the battle droid's back, right? And like it's in the and they're pushing them forward. They use it in all the trailers, I think. And like I remember being a kid and imitating that, but like slamming myself against a futon. Like there's a little 6-year-old Scotty who's like, what? And just boom, hitting the wall of the futon as hard as possible.
What I always tried to recreate is that when Qui-Gon, like they save the Queen, they save Padme. They kill all the battle droids, when they're jumping off the bridge, and then
great.
Qui-Gon puts his saber away real quick and just goes, and that droid goes, oh! Like I love that noise, and I was always like, oh!
Why is it such a weird noise? I'm always like,
it's like it's so visceral and like honestly a little horrifying. It's like, oh!
Jerry, that's amazing.
God,
it's a good one. I wanted to bring this up too. Whenever Alden was talking about school, I'll never forget this. I had checked out a Star Wars book, and it was a Star Wars visual dictionary, but it was the original trilogies one. And I think this was right before Revenge of the Sith, and it was Miss Steintrager. I remember her name. She was a librarian, and I was in the same class as her daughter, Marianne. And I had checked out the Star Wars book, and I'll never forget. Since it was, and I'll show you, this is the same condition. Okay. It probably has gotten worse since it was my possession. I have it right here in my lap. She's like, you can just, I remember bringing it back, and she goes,
prepared.
She goes, Scott, you can just have it. And I said, really? And she goes, of course. And look, here it is right here. You can see how tattered and torn. Look how like worn down the sides are. Like the pages are torn. Look at this bottom corner. And you can even see it. Look at this.
Good
Hold on.
Lord.
You can even see, look at the inside. It's taped together. Like this was in my book sack for years because I remember loving looking through it. And it says donated to the OLM library by Taylor Beadle, May 23rd, 1999.
God bless you, Tyler Beadle.
Yep, exactly. So like look, oh whoa, I didn't remember this at all. Look how cute this is. Check this out. So I made sure everyone knew it was mine. That's like right second grade script right there, right under Boba Fett. And like, I remember reading this just all the time. Wait, holy crap. No, wait, did I just see something?
This is not the book of Boba Fett. This is the book of Scotty Jarod.
Wait, hold on. I think I just saw a drawing I made. Hold on, let me find that Boba Fett page.
Oh.
This is perfect.
We've already got some of my my monkey
third grade.
Jesus, my
You
monkey Jesus Obi-Wan. What's up? Go on.
So
Go on.
I want to bring this up as well. Everyone's, Boba Fett was Boba Fett. I mean, that just makes sense.
Right.
But for us Attack of the Clones kids, our age, people that are going to join us in just a moment, our Boba Fett was not Boba Fett. Who was it? It was Jango Fett. They had the Star Wars Bounty Hunter game. And
I thought he was cooler.
Literally, little kid Scott drawing.
Look at that.
Jango
Hold up.
Fett. How awesome is that? Wow.
So sick. Look, he's even like flamethrowing, man.
Think about that. I don't know. Here's a quick story too. My aunt, me and my aunt have a very close relationship, and she would whenever my mom and my sister would go to hospitals or whatever because of my sister's condition, she would come and pick me up and take me to movies. And I'll never forget seeing the Revenge of the Sith trailer the first time, and this is great. It was before Incredibles in 2004. It was November of 2004.
Nice.
And I saw we were going to see Incredibles, and she said I stood up and I was conducting the song. I was like literally like 9 years old. And like,
That's so
it's really sweet. It's really kind of funny. But like she said that once the movie was over, once Incredibles was over, I looked at her and she goes, "What'd you think of the movie, Scott?" And I said, "It was a little intense for a kid." And I'm like, just coming off seeing the Revenge of the Sith trailer. Mind you, that is a very intense. She's like, no, you just didn't want to see the Incredibles after you saw the Star Wars trailer. But man, I love this. This is fun. I love this. Should we bring our wonderful, sweet friend Boop in?
Let's bring my wonderful sib Boop in, please. Bring in the sibling.
Let's get the clip.
Get the clip. Roll the clip.
I wanna do a little number for you now.
Boom!
Hey, I feel special. I got the Paul Stanley clip.
Yeah, that's right. We're gonna switch it around.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna switch it around. Boom!
Hi guys. Special.
Hey,
what's up?
Boop? What's going on? I'm happy to have you here because what's a good Bombadcast without a little Boop action? Talking about some skeet nut, some Boop,
put a little
all of it everywhere.
A little bing, a little
skeet nut and the Boop. Oh my god, it's like crunchy peanut butter. You get Boop and you gums. You're tasting it for weeks. All right.
We just need a Reagan in here with Taki's guy. That's it. That's all we need.
Oh man, that's all we need.
The day we get a live stream with Taki's guy.
Oh, the day is going to be upon us soon, I'd imagine. Boop.
I want to have coffee with Taki's guy so bad.
Your Star Wars memories. Take us there. Put us in your mind. Because we all have different paths. I want to know your paths. Give us your paths. Show us.
Give us your paths. Show us your path engine.
You don't want to be inside my mind. Trust me. I barely do.
Have you watched this show?
Have you watched Jerry's show? Like, come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So my Star Wars story didn't start until much later. In reality, like I've said on the podcast before, I didn't become a Star Wars fan until much, much later in my life, until the release of The Force Awakens in 2015. God bless.
That's beautiful.
God
bless. I did grow up with Star Wars because my dad is a gigantic nerd. We grew up with Star Wars. We grew up with Star Trek: The Next Generation. Like, we had, of course, this beautiful box set.
Yes.
The shit version.
This is not the original. I got this in a store. Like, it still makes the fart noise though.
It's so good. Mine's corn.
So like I grew up watching that, and like Jerry said, there's always that reverence when you watch it with someone who knows.
Yes.
Like when you know that you need to sit back and shut up and stop being a kid for a minute and pay attention.
Wow, yeah.
And so that was like our living room almost every Saturday. Was we would slap on a Star Wars, we would fall asleep on the couch, tangled in a mess of limbs and brothers. And then, that was just what you did. It was just a movie at that time. Like I remember we watched not the Phantom Menace, Empire Strikes Back so many times that we wore out the VHS tape.
Oh, I love it.
Because that's just what you did.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until much later when we got the Phantom Menace on VHS. That's when something happened where I was like, okay, now this is something to pay attention to.
God.
Specifically because of a certain little friend.
Oh!
Yes. I wish...
Devil.
Yes, Mr. Devilman. I wish I had my Darth Maul shelf behind me, but it is
nice.
Adjacent right over here.
Yeah.
Slam packed with my favorite good boy, which even before I was a fan, like it was always when Duel of the Fates came on.
Oh, Jesus.
You stopped.
Oh, yeah.
You paid attention.
You still stop.
Yeah.
Oh,
God.
Absolutely. John,
that Kenobi trailer absolutely like bitch slapped me with the theater,
yeah,
that first one.
Yes. Speaking of being bitch slapped, that is my most prominent Star Wars memory as a child. Specifically, was getting hit with the Darth Maul lightsaber from my brother.
No way!
Bitch slapped by the Darth Maul lightsaber.
What? Because you know what? The worst thing about
you
the
would
Maul
whack
lightsaber,
the shit out of each other with the lightsaber back in the day. No!
But like, wait, is that
this isn't the original?
Okay, but still,
yeah.
The thing, you can get hit twice. Like you can do one of these where they go whoop and then they twist it again, whoop, and you get hit, boom, boom, double. Like
that is exactly what happened.
Oh, I love that.
So much brain
like
damage.
Pong Krell.
And like, let me ask you this.
Imagine him. He's got 4.
So you were raised around a bunch of brothers, right? Is that what you said? You had a bunch of okay. What ages? Older or younger? Both.
My oldest brother Ryan is 7 years older than me, and then my twin brothers Justin and Josh are 5 years older than me, and so they were present during the prequel era.
That's kind of where your love, kind of like as I didn't have siblings that were able-bodied to be able to have these interactions with, but I'd imagine the weaving of interests was probably very, very interesting in your household because of that, right? Because you had older influences to say, no, this is what's cool now before, like instead of just your parents. I had cousins in that same similarity that would be like, this is what is, this is how you interweaved your interests. And very similar stories here. My cousin's much more rough housey than I am. I was very much a kid that was like, we're wrestling, I'm the referee. And I'll never forget doing that. Like, we're on a trampoline, I'm going to be to the side of the trampoline. Like, I can't get hurt. And like, they would, with their lightsabers,
I was
just destroy and just like kill each other. And I was never into that. So were you the one that was like, just like pounded upon and like, oh, look, like literally right here, Troy, word for word, the source of the problem. I beat the hell out. Yes, because he was 5 years older than me. You'd be like actually
Troy
using
is the reason
moves
why you
on
drink.
me. Yes,
like you're supposed to. Don't go easy on a kid. Come on, teach him.
So was that you, Boop?
Yes, I'm the youngest, and like I learned very quickly that if I don't learn how to A, throw a punch, or B, whack somebody with a stick like a lightsaber or a plastic lightsaber, I am going to not make it to the age of 15. So I definitely learned how to hold my own against my older brothers. And we're all adults now, arguably, and like my brothers have kids, and I am the one teaching them how to hold and wield a lightsaber, and telling them the stories about like, hey, your dad, he kicked the shit out of me with one of these, so you better learn.
You did.
That's the beauty.
I was lifeless on the ground, and they kept pounding.
Well, that's the thing. Like and they'll take those memories and in one day bestow it upon their kids, or even better, they'll save those memories for themselves and be like, yeah, this is just a rite of passage in my household. Mm-hmm. It's just something that we all have to experience in a beautiful way. That's lovely. That's amazing. And Darth Maul's an interesting choice. I think a lot of it because y'all have you and Gerry in particular have an interest in what I would call like the darker side of fascination, I say cryptid not jokingly here, like with the things that people find unsettling or uncomfortable. And what was it about Maul at a young age to make you go, this is my guy? Like there's something there, right? There has to be.
I can tell you exactly what it is.
Ooh, let's hear it. I'm excited.
Okay.
So the moment the music kicks in, obviously, is a big thing because, it's John Williams. Wow.
Yeah,
he went so hard. He put his entire John Williams into that song, and it shows. I'm going to take a sip.
That was Zissy. That John was Zissy was dripping.
Exactly.
Genius.
So yeah, the music, obviously, it adds to the gravitas of the character. But when we watched that movie for the first time in our living room, because I didn't go see it in the theaters, I was too young. Apparently, my brothers got to go see it. But that moment of the turning the lightsaber, one blade goes and then the other one, and the musical sting.
Ooh!
That moment solidified Maul as like, that's my Star Wars. Like that's my special boy. That's my big bomb right there. Like, and it always has been from then on. I mean, like I have characters, like I love IG-88. He's my special boy. Like that's my favorite bounty hunter is IG-88.
Yeah.
Because I read Tales from the Bounty Hunter, and that solidified him as a cool guy in my mind. Whatever the EU does, we're not getting into it. But like, I will never forget Maul as like, this is cool.
Yeah.
And even before I knew anything about Maul, he was cool. And he always will be cool.
Like, yeah. And you know what's funny? Like, it is a 90s cool, though. I don't think that would have done well in the 80s, and definitely not in the 70s, because it would have seemed somewhat satanic, and I mean it really is. It's got devil imagery.
The heat of the satanic panic was finally like dying out by that time. I mean people were more focused on Harry Potter than they were Star Wars.
Yes, at that point, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I will say the double-bladed lightsaber moment, because again I was a Star Wars guy at that time. That broke my little Star Wars loving brain. That you could have two on one. What? That's not. That's against the rules. What in the world? It was so cool.
That is a moment, and like to have that impact you in that way, and to obviously have it be your favorite character now. That just speaks volumes as to the concept of design, the concept of like execution. And you know what? Absolutely. At that point, y'all, the best thing about Maul was his story ended right there. Like it's crazy. Like you only get truly in that movie, you only get about 7 minutes, and that is it. Done. Yeah. Gone. Well, they're completely gone. And like and everyone will say,
worst case
their favorite thing of the Phantom Menace. People for some reason have their gripes still with the movie. They'll say to themselves, the Phantom was fine. It was the lightsaber battle that gets me, and like. That's everyone's story. That's how everyone feels when they watch that movie. At least people that I know that love it, they have more interest in it than just the lightsaber scene. But that's one of those things that you leave with, and you are impacted. Let's read this right here.
Alden dropped a thread in our comments.
God, here we go, Alden. Jeez, covering up Boop's face. Just it's so big and massive and sturdy.
We gotta. Okay.
So wait. Eric said something that made me laugh.
I was gonna say no. I know. I was gonna bring that up too.
Joke about this.
Eric wearing 3/4 pants like Ray.
Like Ray.
Eric showing up, putting his whole kata manussi into the stream
with nary an icy to spare.
I can't wait. I can't wait to smell that man's hair.
Oh, it's.
I cannot wait.
It's gonna smell.
It's so good. Oh, it smells. It smells like bananas.
Oh, it's wonderful. It's funny because Eric and I always talk about the capris because Mac DeMarco brought it up in our interview with Mac. He was like, what is she wearing? Is she wearing capris? I'm like, it's such a weird analysis of that. That's what you get out of that. Like, is she wearing capris? Like, it's so funny.
I believe they're pantaloons.
You don't want to get sand in your cuffs, man.
Nope. No. And you know what else is true? You got lucky, Boop. And Maul's a favorite character of mine. But, like, now this character, like Pete says, is so much more fleshed out, so much more of a character, so much more to enjoy with the character. Like, and that's funny because that makes your childhood memories even more valuable to you. This is the cool thing about Star Wars now is it elevates what you once experienced to a whole higher level. It's very profound. That's beautiful.
Oh yeah. And that's what Clone Wars did for me. Like that's how John got me to watch Clone Wars. Was like, hey, Maul comes back. You gotta watch it just for Spider Legs Maul.
Yep.
And I watched it, and I just, it was so special. It is the tapestry, Alden. Like, he has a fully fleshed out tapestry of tragedy and loss, and I could do a TED talk on why. Like,
we're getting Boot back. We're getting Boot back. I'm telling you.
We're gonna have to have Boot back, and then
let's hope
that's our celebration panel. The next celebration that we can all be at.
Like, I don't know if it'll show up on camera.
Oh, look, there it
is.
is.
This is my lock screen.
Do it again?
Yeah, hang on.
Let me see it.
I can dismiss my bedtime thing.
We gotta get this.
Oh, wow. And that was a great moment in Clone Wars too. Talk about, oh my God. Boop, anything else before we bring on the one-eyed freak?
Hey, I love that one-eyed freak.
We do too. It's all in love. All in love.
He's our favorite one-eyed weirdo. There he is. Love that little guy. That's my son.
That's my son.
Really?
He's my wife.
Maul and Ahsoka are a dyad. That's all I want to say. Like,
yeah, that's beautiful. Wow.
I
back on to talk about it.
Damn. What a
okay,
drop.
you're coming back on. You're coming back on.
John won't let me talk about it. He interrupts me every time I talk about it. So
no, not here.
Also,
only Gerry will.
I'm gonna light a fire under our asses. You know, let us know, guys, if you want to see some spooky content from me and Boop. Just saying.
Maybe a Patreon exclusive one day, huh? That'd be cool.
Maybe.
We finally launched a Patreon.
We are thinking.
We're in talks.
My slow ass. Anyway,
we're in talks.
Let us know if you're interested. Let us know if you're interested.
Please.
I offer you spooky content. You give me your entire devotion.
Yep.
Yes, it's not a cult.
No.
But it's kind
of. It's a little bit of a cult.
Yet. Boop.
Love Flavor Aid. Boop.
Lovely as always, my sweet friend, my sweet cryptid little.
Love you, ankle Boop.
Creature. I'm gonna bring the one-eyed freak on. Boop, stay Bombad. See you real soon.
Love ya.
Hi, Ben.
Hi, George.
How's it going?
It's going all right.
The one-eyed freak.
What's going on, right? How you doing?
Oh, Connor, your precious Star Wars memories must be heard. Must be heard.
Before that, I want to address a question that William put in the pre-show. He said if I have quote-unquote 2 working eyes yet. And the answer to that is yes, but also no.
Yes, but one's working a little harder.
Everything's good. I just need to get a new pair of glasses and get them checked out by my eye doctor at my local eye care center. Hopefully, because I'm going back up home for a hernia surgery on Monday.
Yeah.
Where's the hernia at?
I'm not telling you. Figure that out yourself.
It's in the other eye.
It's not how that works, Gerry. It's not how that works.
Man. Too much tugging and pulling of his other eye.
So I'm hoping to get to my eye care center that same week during recovery to get a new pair of glasses and see out of 2 eyes once again.
Nice.
Connor's told me he loves my voice. I love Connor's voice. I don't know.
Thank you.
I just love Connor.
It's like.
So does the chat. Look, we got Laura. Look at this. William.
Yes.
Connor has eye problems. I love Nick's. Hey, look, it's can't see 3PM.
That's really good.
That's a good one.
I think that's a really good one.
Nick's gonna try to turn it into a T-shirt on ATGcast podcast.
That's right.
Honestly,
anything you say.
If he does, I will buy it.
You gotta get your own, man.
That's beautiful.
Trademark that shit.
Connor, you sent us a couple of photos. We can get those pulled up real quick. Connor, you said there's some memories, if you don't mind, Connor, I guess divulging in. You know, like what did young Connor? Because you are a little bit not way younger than us. What year were you born, if you don't mind me asking?
97.
Okay, so you're only 2 years younger, so you're kind of like in the same area as Michael and Trey. Because I'm 95, and there's not that much difference in age at all.
Nope.
And in terms of interest, really, Gerry's an old lady. But there is really not that much difference in terms of what we experience in Star Wars ways. But like Connor, fill us in on your path into like what led you to Star Wars, inevitably led you to Star Wars.
So it's just a sort of smattering of memories. There's no one particular memory that sticks out. I just have like a bunch of little memories here and there that just kind of added up to become the person I am today. Thank you, Michael. I love your
thank you, Michael,
Marchion impression, and your regular voice. So really the quote unquote earliest memory I could figure out was I remember I never watched. So I grew up with the special editions. I was born 1997. So obviously that's the same year they came out. So we got them.
Yes, sir.
And I never as far as I can remember, I never watched all the movies like from beginning to end. I only watched specific scenes, and the specific scenes were like fight scenes, obviously. Yeah. And I remember the 3 scenes I always watched on repeat. It was the Pit of Carkoon fight,
awesome.
the Endor battle, both ground and space, and the duel, obviously.
One of the best.
And
sequences.
Duel of the Fates. Those are always the 3.
Man.
And so I think that kind of that definitely informed where I was going with Star Wars. And then I also remember, and I think my second memory would be, I don't remember actually seeing Revenge of the Sith. I kind of have like a vague recollection of it. I just remember just crying my eyes out at Revenge of the Sith at 8 years old.
Wow.
Like absolutely
That's beautiful though.
Awesome. My eyes out. Like I was devastated as a kid. And then
that's a hard one for a kid.
It was traumatic. Which is why it's probably still sticks with me to this day.
Yeah, you know what else is traumatic? I know more about Connor's body than I know about my own. I'm not sure where that came from.
And Connor's insurance policies.
Please continue. I'm sorry. Please continue.
And the insurance policies. And then I remember going with my family to a Burger King near the theater after and getting one of those
toy.
Like one of those like wind up X-Wings where it's like you pull it back and it
back and it goes.
Yes.
They did like the Burger King. They did like a whole like throughout the whole saga as well as
they did a lot of
Sith,
toys.
right?
Mm-hmm. They only did
so.
They didn't do Phantom
that was
Menace,
like supposed to be the end.
Yes, that was the point. Yep. 100%.
That was the end. And then like I remember watching the Clone Wars movie in theaters because that came out in 2008. And I'll never forget probably the weirdest piece of merch I ever had from anything Star Wars. Because so whenever I used to swim in the pool or in the sea or whatever, I would always have a shirt on because I had a really, really bad sunburn on my back. Just got pretty bad. So just pretty much. So, well, not that terrible. No. So my parents always stressed that I wear a shirt and I didn't mind it. I was like, fine, whatever. So they got me this like swim shirt with the Clone Wars movie poster on the front of it. And it was like tight, like skin tight.
So you could glide through the water.
I could literally glide through the water.
Much like Obi-Wan and Anakin sliding on ropes.
With the Clone Wars movie poster in the
So it was custom. It was custom. We got to keep that in mind.
I think so. I can't remember.
Had to be. There's no way they had that. I would have bought that for my extra large self.
And then just
I'll buy that now.
Video games. Like 2005 Battlefront 2.
Dude,
Lego Star
I have it on
Wars,
my
Bounty
list.
Hunter.
Yes.
Oh my God. What was your highlights?
Revenge of the Sith, the Revenge of the Sith game. The one memory I will always have with the 2005 Battlefront 2 is some kid in my class gave me the invincibility cheat code for like something. I traded it with him for something. I can't remember what I gave him or whatever. And I still remember it to this day. I just will never forget the 2000. I will never forget the invincibility cheat code for the Battlefront.
You know what's funny? It's funny because
so sick.
Back then, obviously we had IGN, but a lot of it was word of mouth or those books you got at the book fair every year that was like PS2
the game
cheat
guides.
codes. Yes. Those
chart.
were sick. Yes. And you know, Revenge of the Sith game was so interesting because it told other stories that were not seen in the movies, though they were in the movies, quote unquote, like the moments where they're
hydraulic level.
Yes,
always stands out to me.
Yes, they shot that whole sequence. They didn't do anything with it. There's videos of Ewan and Hayden in tanks swimming, and they just scrapped it. And like that would probably be such a sick scene to see, you know, in the movies, but they scrapped it. And like you can go back to the Jedi Temple right after the Purge, and you like handle it. You know, it's that game is so cool. And that's the weird thing too about our generation. We got lucky because we grew up with the 3D games. Whereas Jerry and a little bit the tail end of your generation grew up with the Super Nintendo, you know, Super Star Wars game, or they grew up with like some of the Atari games as well, and even the early NES games. But like our generation, Michael, Connor, Trey, Alden, you know, our little crew kind of had that early 3D generation with Rogue Squadrons. Battlefront 2 was a great example.
N64 was like my first big
another game.
I had like Battle for Naboo and like the Pod Racer. Those were like my first big Star Wars games.
Another game I just remembered was Star Wars: The Clone Wars, because like I bought it thinking it was going to be infantry combat, and it was all vehicle based. And as a kid, I was disappointed. But if I bought that game now, because I'm pretty sure I think there's like a retro video game store that like I might go to someday to see if they have the Revenge of the Sith game.
Yeah.
I would probably love that right now. I would probably just be like, this is gangbusters, man.
That Clone Wars game was sick because it was vehicle based, but what made it so sick was it was our only glimpse besides the Tartakovsky
that's
animation.
Right.
And it was just that, and like there was one level that still I remember playing through it where you're Anakin, you're in a tank and you're going forward and it's at night and there's like just shit firing at you constantly and it's awesome. And I'm like, this is the clone, this is it. And this is like the 2004 or 2003 game. It was very early. It's so weird we get that now. Like we know that doesn't even exist. The full context of that story doesn't even matter anymore. I'm gonna go watch a cinematics on that when we get off the stream. That's really interesting. I forgot about that.
Obviously, Lego Star Wars.
Yes, of course.
Complete Saga, original trilogy, and Lego Star Wars, the video game.
Yeah.
I gotta, Complete Saga, really, really made me really love the prequels, especially Attack of the Clones and Phantom Menace.
Of course, yes.
And Skywalker Saga's doing that with me. With the sequels too right now. So that's just it's like poetry. It rhymes.
That's beautiful.
What else?
Any toys,
and then
there's anything like that? Any toys or anything
that
like
dude.
Kind of I gotta pull it up. I gotta pull it up.
Star
Let me pull it up.
Tactics. I don't know if anyone remembers these.
Look at these.
Wow.
Dude, I cannot these feel like a fever dream. Because every time they pop up in my memories, I'm like, wait, these were real? Because, like, they were real.
Yeah. They are real.
It's just,
they're ridiculous looking.
I used to set them up. I used to, set them up and just, I'm the anti-Alden in this case because, I would just mix and match people with Eric.
Sure.
Dude, fuck, dude. I'll be like, dude, Anakin Skywalker versus, Luke. Or Darth Maul or whatever. It's like, dude, I'd be like, fuck yeah, this is great. So Lego Skywalker Saga right now, it's just, I'm going insane. Literally,
mixing and matching.
I play as the most right now in Lego Skywalker Saga are Barriss Offee, Scavenger Ray, Rose, and Bulio.
So awesome. It's so different. Also,
you are a treasure.
It's like you look at this right here, and this is a perfect summary because it had attack points at the bottom. You remember that? Look at the bottom of that, and you can scroll it, and you can show their health. And I believe there was a true functioning game behind this. Though I was the same way, Connor. I would literally do early science experiments and see how far away Django could be from a Tusken Raider or something, and
Yeah.
just boom, and see how far it would take for it to get hit and get knocked over. Oh,
Yeah.
it's so cool.
No, I did that too. I remember, dude, I'll never forget one time. I think I asked for like some specific battle pack, and it had the LAAT gunship.
All right, I'm bringing
And,
in Michael too. Hold on,
as
Michael
a
says he
kid-
knows this.
Oh my god! As a kid, I was in. I was on cloud 9.
Yeah, of course. All right, let's
Like-
bring in. Oh, look, he's got it in his hand. Hold on, Connor. This is insane.
Oh my god!
Here we go. Let's see it. Look at it. Here we
I've
go.
got
Yes.
this. I know
Yes.
this game.
Yes!
That's sick. Oh, look at
This
that.
was this was after my time. It must have been.
Oh
Yeah,
my
this is a
god!
cool era. Let me look
Got
at it.
Darth Vader. This isn't
Dude,
labeled Anakin
dude,
Skywalker.
I don't
He's
think
labeled
Michael,
Darth Vader.
I don't think
Oh,
I ever
wow.
had that figure. I could
Wait,
never find.
Michael, how
him.
did those swing? Didn't those have like a little trigger and they would slap?
No, you had
No,
to. you had
so
to,
some of these are kind of bad. I
You
got
had
these
to
off eBay.
actually like pull it back. Oh,
It just came
Michael
off the
broke one
base.
on stream.
No, this one's already been broken. Like I said, I got these used off eBay.
Oh,
so
dude,
its waist would spin and you would turn its
Yeah.
waist and it would smack the shit out of the other one.
dude, I'll never forget, dude, Scotty. I'll never forget.
Much
I
like
forget who I
Boop's
was,
brothers and Scotty's cousins.
I
Yes.
forget who I was playing as when I used it, but like I swung one of the saber. I think it was Anakin. I think I was Anakin, and I swung his saber at someone, and it went fucking flying.
yeah, this Luke with a force
Oh
push.
yes, the force push. Look, I remember that.
Power.
These were my go-tos. Like these would always win because these things are basically shields and
Yes.
weapons. So
Yes.
you'd hit this little button and it would go flying and knock other
Oh.
figures over.
Dude,
it was a great game.
overpowered.
Wow.
Overpowered. Dude,
Wow.
this was basically.
Hold on, I got one more in particular I wanted to show.
Uh-oh.
Michael
It's
Harris is
marching on
enjoying
the
your
road.
shirt.
Look, show us the shirt real quick, Michael, before you show us your figure.
Oh, this
Triclops
Triclops is raised dad.
Raised dad.
If you go to the All Remaining Systems T Public store, you can find that and purchase it for yourself.
Please, yes, please go get that one. That needs to be that shirt needs to permeate the zeitgeist. as
I
it is,
agree.
as
It will be at Celebration. So
that's
this
amazing.
Clone Commander figure,
Dude, yes.
this has bothered me since I was a kid, right?
Yes.
For some reason, it's a part of the CIS faction, according to that little symbol there.
Oh, that's amazing.
And I've always tried to figure out why, and I think it's because like the clones turning on the Jedi during Order
That's a-
66. It doesn't
dude,
make
yeah.
much sense, but that's the only
That's what
explanation
I
can
always
come up with.
figured.
You got
I was
Anakin
like,
labeled
oh,
as Darth
it's-
Vader, which is that
I
makes
was like,
sense.
oh,
but
it's-
like,
You got
yeah.
It's
two
Order
different
66.
Anakins labeled as Darth Vader.
yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
like that's what I remember that. Michael, that specific clone. I was like, oh, he's the CIS. Oh, it's because of Order 66. That's just how it
Wow.
always made sense to me.
And this game was so unique because you'd like roll the little figures and they'd click along, and that's how you move is based on how many clicks.
Yeah.
The little,
Wow.
Oh my
little roly
God.
thing does.
Oh,
They have little
wow.
abilities on the base that trigger if this
Dude,
thing
the
comes to light.
abilities.
Yeah,
Dude.
this game is great.
Michael, this is hilarious. So, Michael, did you play this growing up, or was this something you figured out later?
I played this growing up. This
Oh.
was a thing in my school back in like elementary school.
Oh, that's
Dude, I wish this was a
badass.
thing in my school. I don't think much people played it in my school,
Like,
besides
look
like
at
me and
that.
like a few friends.
I'm like Alex Corey here. Like I vaguely remember them for sure, but yeah, I never owned.
Dude,
them.
I
They
might-
were, like,
it-
a set of a thing, but
honestly,
it's so cool.
I might
The
spend
most
my next
unique
paycheck.
one is there was an emperor figure who had like claw hands, and you would attach
Wait.
him to an enemy figure and possess that enemy figure. That was his ability.
Dude, that's
What-
so wait.
What was
I
it
think I
called?
remember
That's
What was it
sick
called?
and also
It was
completely
just called the
terrifying.
Emperor.
No, what was the
Tactics.
figure set called? Battle what?
A Tactics. ATTACKTIX.
That sounds like a Pete Fletcher word.
Dude,
I'm not
okay.
even
It-
kidding.
tactics.
Just reminds
Michael.
me of-
Please,
That's your word.
please get into Tactics Game Going at Celebration.
That would honestly be pretty
High
Bombad.
stakes. High
That would be
stakes.
Dude,
very
that would-
Bombad.
That would
Like-
that's our panel. That's our panel in the alley behind
It's
the
just
convention
us.
center.
Hey, For 48
Dude, we're
bucks.
playing like we're playing freaking dice.
Are
or
you
something.
kidding me?
Like,
Look at all of them. Dude,
Oh
look at
my God.
Tarful.
Warriors.
Oh,
Dude.
wow.
how much
Dude,
are they?
You've got giant Tarful hand that'll swing at you.
Dude, the Wookiees overpowered. Oh my God.
Look at
oh
these.
my God.
And it's kind of balanced in terms of who has what, too. You got the blasters, you've got the hands. Look at Leia's
This Wookiee
gun.
looks like he's holding the fuel rod gun from
Dude,
Halo.
Leia looks cursed.
Oh, let me pull up Michael's screen. Jerry, pull up Michael's screen real quick.
Oh
This
my
is
God.
awesome.
Dude, the green ones were always my favorite. Those were the best. I always loved those. I always
Yeah, these
lost
are great.
the
Oh,
always
wait,
Wookiee with the
lost
needler?
Pull up the shared screen, Jerry. Here it is. Whoa. Do y'all see this? Do y'all see it?
Good Lord.
Dude,
There's Palps.
dude, a lot of 24 for 8. God.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I didn't pull
Well,
up
they
all
may
the
be
way.
missing the missiles. That's a hard thing when you're looking for these on eBay. Is sometimes they're missing the little projectiles, and so that's obviously game.
Wait, Tarful was hands on.
Look, we are slowly getting there is going to be a high stakes game of a tactics.
Are
at
we actually
Celebration.
gonna do a friggin' tactics tournament at?
How about
at
this?
Celebration?
How about this, y'all? I will gladly
Do it out of me and
spend-
Scotty's hotel room.
Spend $30 on the showroom floor, and we will go and buy. I will buy them so we
they're
can play them.
most certainly gonna be on the showroom floor.
Oh,
But
they're
we're
in
gonna.
there.
course.
Yeah. If it
We pulled
exists and
this
it's Star Wars,
happen.
it's going to be there.
this needs to
We can
happen,
totally do
man.
it.
Oh
Sorry, I
my
need
God.
to focus my camera, so I'm just getting uncomfortably close to the.
Hold
I
on,
just
hold
have
on.
to do that sometime.
I really found a
I
big,
think,
huge listing. Hold on, let me get
Come
it
on,
pulled
get
up.
it, get it, fix it, fix
Show
it, fix
me
it.
the listing, Scotty. I
Get
want to
Get
see
it, Scotty. Get
I
it.
want to see it.
Mike,
Dude, what?
This is only you can bid 100 or you can make an offer. So if you wanted to, Connor, you could literally make an offer for 75 and you get 69 of these with their blast. Look at
Ayo.
The T.
Nice.
Dude, Shock T.
There's Palpatine doing a two-handed one.
this. Look at this. Holy crap. 69 of them. Some of them are missing their. I can see some of them are missing their blasters. That's okay. No,
fine, I can
no, they
bring a few
aren't.
spare
No, they
ones.
aren't. Look right there. They're all in the bag. They're all in the bag.
This man is
Oh,
whoever did
Connor.
this. Is
Talk about
clutch.
new meaning to wine dined in 69, my friend. Look at this.
Connor, I'm so glad you brought this up because I would have
John!
forgotten.
Oh, it's amazing.
Dude, the only reason I remembered was because when Scotty was talking with Boop and they started talking about action figures, it just popped up in my memory, and I'm like, holy shit.
So there was a Boba Fett one, and I think a Jango Fett one too, that had a little jetpack missile on the back. So in order to fire it, you had to bend him over so that
kind of like Boba did. Kind of like Boba did in Mando, right? He goes
exactly.
It was Cobb Vanth or whatever.
Yeah,
I guess. Yeah.
Oh,
my
y'all.
God.
These are great
said,
memories to
hence the
share.
goated-
I
goated
think
rocket.
honestly, some of the last memories I have with childhood is just Clone Wars related. Like season,
You were
like
lucky.
okay,
You had that. I didn't grow up with that. That was when guitar and music became such an integral part of my life. Like that is when
for
that
me it
led-
was just cross country and just school in general was a big
Yeah.
part of my life, like middle school to high school. So I kind of
Yeah.
didn't watch that much Clone Wars, at least that I
Sure.
remember. I remember watching most of season 1, specifically the Ayla Sakura arc, as I like to call it, because like I just fawned over her as a kid.
Mhm.
Like she was my first crush, love at first sight,
of course.
and like
French blue lady.
Dude,
No one,
dude,
yeah,
she had-
no one,
dude, she has-
no one blames you for falling in love with the French blue alien. Yes,
like
yes.
dude, she has a $50
Relatable.
photo op at Celebration. Dude, I'd pay 100. I would. I really would. Like, I
love this.
I'm getting horny on Bombadcast. This is just.
It isn't the first time. Oh,
Yep.
Hey-yo!
I remember watching season 1,
Horny on me.
and like probably one of my top 10 episodes of Clone Wars overall is the first season. Is the first episode ever released, Ambush. That was always a standout episode to me. And then I'll never forget, I went over to a friend's house in middle school. I literally left a school ice cream party early to go over to his house to sleep over and watch the season 2 premiere of Clone Wars with him.
Oh,
Let's go, dude.
That's sick.
He was
that's great.
He was like one of the biggest Star Wars fans I knew, had a lot of Lego sets. We hung out a lot, dueled each other, did a lot of cool stuff. We don't really talk now just because we kind of went our separate ways.
Sure.
He's a big Legends person.
Yeah.
Not really big into the new stuff, which I'm like, whatever. That's fine. But like he is, I credit him for getting me into Star Wars where I am.
That's amazing.
That's good.
The beauty of that is the fact that like now in retrospect, that's something that really meant a lot to you. And as a kid, you're like, oh, I'm just going to go watch this. This is going to be cool. But like those memories, like I said, they become so much more golden and so much more beautiful when you reflect.
They become a part of the tapestry.
That's right. God, you're good. But it's true. We throw that word around fun, like in a joking way. But I mean, it's so integral to the fan you are now, right? And you love animation.
Wait.
Uh-oh, here we go.
The visual dictionaries.
Oh,
the visual dictionaries. And I still, and oh my God, why didn't I ever tell you this, Scotty? I own the Phantom Menace Incredible cross sections.
Oh, that one's great. Dude, William. My student William, he comes into my class and he's like, check this out. He was literally like, he was like this. He was like, look what our librarian just gave us. And she was like, it's damaged. So the same exact thing happened to William that happened to me whenever I was like his age, where she gave him the cross sections of the Phantom Menace, whereas mine was the visual dictionary. So it's very weird how those things parallel. And like that's incredible, Connor. You remind me of
I need to read those again. I need to buy the new ones because like, bro.
I got the ones for the sequels.
I didn't do the cross sections or the visual dictionaries as a kid. I had a lot of the essential.
Dude,
guides.
I had that. Scotty, dead serious. I'm pretty sure
I
had the episode 1 and I had the Revenge of the Sith.
I had the new essential guide to characters.
Yeah,
I had I had the essential guide to characters, and like I had this like I can't remember it. But like it was like this art. I don't know how I can describe it.
Boop, Boop.
I know it was an essential guide to characters, and like
show yours, Boop. Boop has
and it was all like a like black and white hand drawn
I found
characters.
This one. Oh,
wait,
nice.
I think I don't know if I have that, but like I'm pretty sure I wish I did.
I got this one back in like 6th grade. And
look how worn it is. I love how worn it is. God, it's beautiful.
Dude, I think I need to get that. I need to buy that off like Amazon now or something.
Oh, it's worth it. Those things like, and you get to read through it and you like remember the page design of some stuff. Like that.
I remember
that's
so
when
many
it's
of
cool.
these images in here like vividly.
Dude, I remember the Jedi stuff in the Revenge of the Sith book vividly because like again, unsurprisingly, Ayla Secura. I was down bad as a kid. It's gotten worse ever since then.
I want to bring up Boop real quick, but I do want to show y'all this. This is a treasure trove, and I'll show you this in a moment. Boop, what do you have in store for us? Because we're just bringing everyone on now. But what you showed, there it is!
Yes! Oh my God.
Look at that.
Yes. Wow.
It's so
See
pretty.
where you hide the 6-pack.
Yes.
And then I also have.
Please tell me the Revenge of the Sith one.
Oh, that's cool.
The hard.
And then also
I have
have
this one. I love this book. I've read this book twice. This book is incredible.
The Making of the Phantom Menace.
Wait, is that the hardback too?
It's the hardback.
Oh, I have the. Oh no, it's sick. Oh, I love this. This is
wow.
Yeah, me and John, we collect every single Phantom Menace book that we come across for
dude, you're
obvious
like
reasons.
Scotty's best friend now.
Oh, Boop was
I'm
always
okay
my
with
best
that.
friend. Oh,
Yeah, I
y'all,
know.
this is amazing. I want to show y'all
Love
this
you,
real
buddy.
quick. You're gonna love this. Hold on. What I have in my hand is a card book, like where you would use to put your Yu-Gi-Oh, your Pokemon cards, or whatever. But it's nothing but old Star Wars trading cards. And in this, I have an amazing comic that I made when I was in third grade. Oh, wait, no, maybe it's not in here. No, it's not in here anymore. But my grandma printed me out. She made a photocopy of the TV guide, and it says right here, it says, "To Scott, love Mimi." And it is literally, and it's literally the TV guide about Revenge of the Sith. I'm gonna post this on Twitter tomorrow, but it's got everything, and it like explains who Palpatine is, and it is incredible. But we have, I don't know, these things just don't exist anymore. These memories. Oh, here we go.
I forget who even got me these, but I've got like this, like Empire Strikes Back classic Dark Horse. And then this classic Star Wars with them fighting Snake Man, I think.
The classic Star Wars.
Don't tell Dan Miller or Mr. Miller would be
Mr. Miller
would be very.
Don't tell Dan I have a Bosca Tactics figure.
No, tell Dan.
Dan will destroy it.
Listen, we're gonna have to, like, a lot of us are gonna have to make sure to keep Dan away from the Bosk cosplayers.
Yes, of course.
I'm a little concerned. I'm a little concerned.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, no, Michael, I now remembered because I looked up the cover, because like the cover was like the big thing that I remembered. Yeah, it was the Essential Guide to Characters one that I also had.
Where it was like the Essential Guide or the new Essential Guide?
The Essential Guide, because like it was all the black and white hand-drawn characters, and I remember there was like a few like EU characters that I always was like, oh, they're neat. I'm trying to remember one in particular.
He said it, everyone. Let's take a moment.
He filled the quota. He said it.
He filled the quota.
This is one I forgot about. Look at Sad Newt Gunray. This is an incredible card.
Oh my god!
Oh, he's so sad.
Little guy.
I'm gonna make Bombad merch with this. Look how sad he is. All the cards. It's weird. This Revenge of the Sith set of cards. They're the trading cards, the top trading cards. They had really they were really interesting. And look, there we go, Connor. Don't take it out right now, but there she is, getting shot.
There she is.
Oh, yeah. Getting killed. But it was weird, man. They had they had like tattoo, they had stickers, they had like in these Topps cards, and like the back straight up gave away the movie. Like, this is literally the final scene, and you can collect this card. Spoilers did not exist in 2005. And it says this on here. Saving Luke Skywalker.
A little bit with that.
No, like this is straight up, like you can read it.
Remember when the Lego Star Wars video game came out 2 months before Revenge of the Sith?
Wait,
yes,
dude, I
it
forget
did do that,
every single time.
And
that's wild.
And the Revenge of the Sith video game with footage from the movie came out 9 days before Revenge of the Sith.
They didn't, dude. George was like, "Fuck it."
Early 2000s were built different, man.
No,
that's beautiful,
dude. I don't know. It might just, it might just be
drawer?
nostalgia for me, but like, I just feel like Revenge of the Sith.
Don't show us what's in your drawers, Jerry.
The marketing campaign.
I still have so many.
I agree, Connor.
For any Star Wars movie, like before like Force Awakens, but like just everything Revenge, dude. I just remember. All the memories of like the Revenge of the Sith, all the Revenge of the Sith like merch is just flooding back. Trading cards, books, the video game, the Lego video game. Like, it's just insane.
Insane. Oh, what a time to be alive.
Oh wait, no. And then I remember another memory I'll never forget is mall related. I was freaking the fuck out in middle school when I found out mall was back.
Yep.
I was losing it as a middle school kid.
Of course.
Oh man, listen, I was in college, and whenever like that scene where Savage goes back, I was saying no, like I was watching it with my buddy Cody Bradford. Shout out to Cody Bradford. Galanorian Saber knows who I'm talking about. We were all in college together. We were watching the Clone Wars together. It got to that scene where like he goes back to Mother Talzin and she's like, "Oh, your brother." And when Maul's head appears in the crystal ball, we were like, "Oh no! Yes!"
Dude, that was kind of my reaction with the World Between Worlds episode when Ezra saved Ahsoka. Like, I just could not believe it. I was like,
oh yeah. God,
keep my voice down, so as to not wake my child when that one came out. I think. Okay, what year did that one come out? That might have been.
That was 2017.
I'm in the World Between Worlds right now.
I'm trying to remember if there's anything else. I think that was all I had.
Well, I haven't had a chance to ask Michael truly about his interest, so I'm going to kick Boop and Connor off. But I'll bring y'all back in at the very end. It'll be okay. You'll be fine. Now that they're gone,
Stop crying.
Let's talk bad. No, just kidding. That being said, Michael, my sweet friend, you haven't had an opportunity to really share your true entrance into this franchise and what it meant to you, and obviously what it means now. But what were some like really early memories? Was there like a sacred moment like Jerry's, or was there like a realization, that occurred to you?
Or was it a tactics?
It was just a tactics. That was it. To this day, that's still all I care about. No, I don't have any like specific standout memories, just like general things I remember. Like I remember a lot of the times like going and watching a lot of the behind the scenes stuff for like the prequels in particular, and that's something that we definitely have in common, Scotty.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like we sort of share that love for Rick McCallum for that exact reason. Like I remember watching the beginning and what was the Revenge of the Sith one? Within a Minute? Was that it?
It was, yes, Within a Minute. That's exact. Yep. Great job. Within a Minute. That's an awesome title.
I've still got all my DVDs.
Oh, look at this.
The 6.
Ooh, those DVDs are just
like these are beautiful. These are beautiful.
So good.
I found some really weird copies of those. Hold on, check this out. I was at a thrift store and I found this, and I've never seen this before. Let me show this to y'all. It's a weird thing, but I'm gonna go back to your store in a second. I'm sorry, Michael. You're
good.
Me. This is weird. Look at this, and they're like,
oh, dude,
they're wide screens, but they're also like thin VHS.
Oh, they're those weird thin DVDs.
Yeah, I don't know where this came. I don't know if it's like the European version. I have no idea, but it's
I remember that was like just a couple years after I think the original trilogy got released on DVD. They were just like repackaging those things and selling them. Like every few years,
man. So, Michael, let's go back to you. Let's hear about your I guess your journey with all this.
So in addition to that, another thing that was a big part of my childhood was Star Wars books. Because I remember within my school, I think you were required to read like so many books a year and do little like pseudo book reports, just like prove you were reading something. And so all the time I was getting like Star Wars books from school libraries and reading those. Like there were the series with like Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon being Master and Apprentice before the Phantom Menace. I think that one was Jedi Apprentice, where you find out about Qui-Gon's former apprentice Xanatos and all that stuff.
What?
Who turned evil and stuff. There was the Anakin and Obi-Wan books between 1 and 2. That was, I think, Jedi Quest. I think I'm getting the names for these right. There was a book series that took place between 3 and 4 called The Last of the Jedi. And I remember the covers for these very vividly.
Yes.
And of course, there were the Jedi Prince books.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I read.
I'm
pretty sure that Prophets of the Dark Side was the first Star Wars book I ever read.
Aww,
so it's safe to
Look at
say
this guy.
I would not be the Star Wars fan I am now if not for these books.
Look at this guy.
What's cool about that
on brand all the time.
Oh, it's so on brand. But
I love it.
The best part is the fact that like you all have our entryways, and Michael, it's very unique. I didn't have the patience to read books like that. I always just wanted to do visual dictionaries and all that. I just didn't have the patience for it. And like the satisfaction you get, when reading a book, even as a kid, is unparalleled. And I can't imagine what that was like for you, to get a book that you had such a deep interest in, like the Jedi Prince series. It's just it's hilarious.
And even when I got into middle school, I would have free periods, and back then I would read during my free periods because what else are you going to do in school? And so that's what got me started reading stuff like the Bane trilogy. And to this day, Path of Destruction, the book that got me back into reading Star Wars books in like 7th grade, I think, is still one of my favorite books of all time.
See, and that's the thing. So your path was really the books, which is so unique. At least to me, I think it's super, super unique.
It was a big part of it for sure.
Yeah.
Yes, I had the second book in the series where I remember it had a picture of like Darth Vader like holding his lightsaber downward like this, and like Obi-Wan and another Jedi character on it. It was cool. Let's see what else. What else? Video games was another big one for me.
Pathway.
Connor brought up a lot of them already, like the Clone Wars game, Bounty Hunter, both the Battlefronts.
Right.
But my favorite growing up was The Force Unleashed for the Wii.
That's hilarious because that's the one I remember getting as a kid, y'all, and being like, "This is terrible," because it wasn't like it wasn't like the 360 or the PS3 version. And I remember, okay, so Michael, you may have these similar memories. There was a hurricane that came through 2008, I think, and that's right when The Force Unleashed came out. I think like August of, I don't remember the exact
something
day.
like that. Yeah, it was definitely 2008.
So I remember watching it after the hurricane had passed. We were staying at a friend of my mom's house, and they had internet. Everything was fine. And I was on their desktop, and I was watching Force Unleashed gameplay footage. And then, in particular, there was a BTS doc that showed them like how objects would move, and it was like the first Unreal Engine. How objects moved in this game, and like it would break in 1,000 different patterns. You can like hit a board, use the force to blow a board up, and the board would shoot out little splinters everywhere. I'm like, this is mind-blowing, right? Here we are with technology. And that was one of those games that completely pushed the boundary. And that's one of my small memories. But the fact that you have a one with the Wii version is so funny. Why the Wii?
Well, because at the time I had like PS2 and Wii, and those were my main consoles. And I remember thinking the motion controls for the lightsaber was just the coolest thing imaginable.
That is sick.
And it's still great. Like they just ported it to the Switch, the Wii version in particular. Oh yeah.
No way.
And I've started playing it. It holds up better than the PS3 360 version.
Oh, shut up. I love the way the graphics act in those games. Like the fact that you get that much joy out of the motion stuff is hilarious to me. That's amazing. Oh, it's beautiful. It's funny that was one of those ones for you. That surprises me with you. You're so much more of a story person, and it's a good story. It's a good story. You don't think so? I like it. I think it's interesting.
I like the ideas of the story. The characters are all terrible.
Proxy being able to turn into anyone, that was sick. I'll say that. I like that. That was wild.
Now, part of it is also soured by Force Unleashed 2 for me. I will totally admit. But
I agree. But the stats even worse. That's a
lot of cool moments.
That's a travesty and a half. Right
that
there.
Is an unbelievably bad story.
Love it.
It's not their fault. Totally, that game was very rushed. Developers did what they could.
Yeah.
Well, you know what really gets it for me, like that. Like I loved that game, and I loved what it did. Like I loved both of those games for a long time. What has soured it for me over the years is every freaking person who is like gatekeepy or whatever is like, oh, you should put Star Killer in this one.
I like that he force pushed big.
Star Killer is really, and they talk like this too. Really, really strong. He's the strongest of all the Force characters.
Just wait. What if Star Killer shows up and it's Sam Witwer?
Honestly,
Star Killer shows up in Kenobi as an Inquisitor. That would be the most buck wild. It would appeal to every fan. I will take canon Star Killer. I will take him like a dialed down. Or something, you know what I mean?
Bit.
Like
but they could make it work.
I would. They could, and it would be the most buck wild thing that they would ever do. Twitter would explode with people going like, they're pandering. Or they're like, oh, they finally did the thing. And like, wait, he's not as good as we thought. Oh, I'm glad that they're making them mad. Oh, it's just like back and forth.
The discourse.
I can hear it already.
Chaos.
It would be amazing.
I have like post-traumatic stress from like something that hasn't even happened yet.
from the inception of that idea.
The idea just gives you anxiety.
Yes,
Michael.
I'm anxious just even thinking about that happening.
That's beautiful. Man, it's like, the fact that your pathway was so many different things than mine, it just shows that at that point, for our generation at least, at that point, it had gotten to where you could get into Star Wars in any way. It didn't just have to be a movie. It could be a book. It could be a well-written book. It could be a poorly written book. like the
6
Jedi
written books.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, if anyone hasn't watched and you're just watching it today, you got to go check our episodes with Michael, where I go to sleep and have panic attacks and
quit.
Tons of pre-traumatic stress.
I quit. I just give up. This is interesting. I think a lot of what we can all, I guess, come together and say is that at a young age, you tend to take Star Wars just as it is. And I hate that as adults now, or as people in the fandom, or as people that make content for the fandom, tend to, I guess, muddy the water, you know, like we're all like, it has to be this way, or it's not this way, or this, like, that's amazing.
I'd love that.
That would be amazing.
Yes, give me that, please.
Like he's a clone and he wakes up like on Exegol after the fall happens, and he's like Palpatine's contingency plan, and like he trained by Vader secretly. Anyway, but Star Wars really just as a kid you interpret it exactly like this. Is why Jar Jar's our mascot, right? You know, we always wanted to bring that kind of thing into what we like about Star Wars. Like it's your path into this thing is going to be so different than everyone else's. And Michael, you just prove it. You're the first one that came on and said it was books that did it for me. That's just, that's badass.
It was a big part of it for sure. Cause you gotta do something. You gotta read something growing up.
Wow.
I wish that I was like that growing up, but like, I think that proves you were the most academic of all of us, is I think what that means.
No,
honestly,
don't like to toot my own horn, but I am the most intelligent, intellectual, and just the highest mind of us all.
You know what's funny? Our next guest lost to me in trivia, and I think he could lose to you in trivia as well, and to Jerry. But we'll see that in a second. Michael, thank you for joining us. Any last words? There he is.
All I gotta say is your next guest doesn't stand a chance on the off chance he can make it to me.
That was beautiful final words. El frickin' Frona. Let's bring in our wonderful friend Jarod the Dark Jedi. Thank you, Michael. Stay Bombad, bud.
Harrison Ford. Also, here I'm in Harrison Ford.
Fuck off. That was big Jarod energy right there.
Woo!
Which one was me?
You're Harrison Ford all the way. Harrison Ford. Oh, that's amazing.
Oh my goodness. Listen, okay, here's what I'm going to say. First
honestly,
of all,
Scotty will be Bruno. I'm just saying.
Michael, sweetheart, darling, you can keep repping your victory in the Quizlet division as much as you like. I'm coming for your throat after I take Connor's other eye and show Spencer what the cost of failure is.
Jesus
damn,
Christ.
William was in heat too.
Star Wars in a Galaxy. Y'all can say everything you want. I'm the best in kayfabe. Like I'm not even that much of a wrestling guy. I'm the best in kayfabe. That I demand that recognition.
I can't even spell it. So.
It's been too long since I've been on.
It actually has been a minute.
It's been a minute.
Oh, I gotta play
since I broke my computer. I burnt my computer out kicking your ass.
Oh, that's right. Your computer did die during the trivia thing.
It
Holy
did.
shit.
I just sold that piece of shit too for parts.
Let's play
drinking money for celebration now.
That will only remind us of Jarod.
Gentlemen.
From the front lines of the information war, it's Alex Jones.
My favorite part. So much. I love how it goes from it's sheer. I mean, he's unhinged all the time on his show, but then it goes from that to the calm. The front line is Alex Jones, who just got done.
I will say,
screaming his spine out of his mouth.
It's the best. Everybody go listen to Knowledge Fight.
Yes, please. I second that.
I I'm so excited to come after Michael. Not just because
I was going to make a joke. Damn
Yeah, dude, Scotty. I was trying to not be 12. I was trying to let Jarod have his moment.
I'm a gentleman.
I
too got my neck is freakishly large. But when you have super male vitality, you know. Anyway, I'm done with Alex Jones jokes. Okay. There's a Star Wars complete encyclopedia.
Ooh.
Because I was in kindergarten when Revenge of the Sith came out.
Jesus. Sorry.
So I was very much a part of the second Dark Times. I was in a Dark Times that was populated by way more content than the original. I was a part of the Dark Times that got way more out of, I mean, there were TV shows during the first Dark Times, but like my Dark Times had the Clone Wars twice.
Yeah.
But when I was a kid, I want to say I was like maybe first or second grade. So it was about a year later. My uncle, for my birthday, and I remember this because he gave it to me after his opening night of Bye Bye Birdie.
Whoa, I love that.
He played the main character, and we went to the same high school. He played the main character in Bye Bye Birdie, and then he came over because my birthday was the next day. He came over, and he brought me a birthday party, at least, and he brought me this full encyclopedia. And I literally, during almost the entirety of Michael's time on the stream, have been ripping my house apart trying to find it because I just found it again the other day.
Yeah.
But it's this big, thick black book. It's like the book itself is black, but it's like this big close up of Vader. And it is essentially an Encyclopedia Britannica of Star Wars in chronological order. Circa 2005.
Oh, that's awesome. So it's complete.
Beginning with Tales of the Jedi.
Wow. Holy cow.
And some stuff before that. So it goes all the way back to like Odan Ulic Keldroma, Exar Kun, all of these characters from thousands of years before the movies start, going all the way into the new Jedi Order. And then the back part of the book was all behind the scenes stuff.
So that was your Bible. Holy cow.
I was in the first grade and read that thing front to back more times than I could count.
Wow.
Awesome.
So I had the video games, I had the movies, but at the end of the day, I had like this giant monstrosity that a few years later for another birthday, there was an expanded edition that was released that I then got. The only real expansion was like, you know, here's this video game that came out since and Star Wars Legacy. But that, and I'm a source book kid, you know, like whenever I was in elementary school, and I think I only own the Phantom Menace source book, but when I was in elementary school, there was in the library with the rest of the reference books, which I thought was really funny.
That's interesting, huh?
It was just back there with like other encyclopedias and shit.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, hey, here's like the incredible cross sections of Star Wars. And like, oh, this is how Naboo starfighters work.
Oh, wow.
But I religiously was checking those books out and reading them front to back. And like, I'm very much, to steal a turn of phrase from Alden Diaz, you know, there's two ways you can look at Star Wars. There is why and there is how.
Beautiful.
You know, and like the why gets in all the thematic stuff. The how is the very, you know, we treat this like it is its own real history.
Of course.
Right.
And as a kid, I was super how. And one book that I was able to grab on short notice was I'm trying to see if it has the author up front. Pablo Hidalgo, thought so.
Beautiful.
Star Wars lightsabers.
Yep.
This one's neat. So I got this at the Scholastic Book Fair.
The best. God, I love
Oh,
Okay.
I love Scholastic. My kiddo went to her first Scholastic Book Fair the other day.
Yeah.
Just saying, I was really proud. Anyway, please continue, Jarod. Please
Okay,
continue.
no, so we're gonna play a little game here. Give me a number between 10 and 53. We're just gonna pick a character at random.
What's the most Bombad number?
69, but it doesn't go that high.
That's not that Bombad. No,
It
my
is
favorite
that's
Bond
very
number
Bombad.
is
That's 69 is pretty Bombad.
Taylor. Let's see. Taylor has how many words? Teilerle.
This is the guy I lost to.
Taylor
has how many words?
What are you doing? Are you just trying to redeem yourself here, moron?
All right. Come on. Count the words in Taylor and let's go. Come on.
You probably smell like Axe, moron.
I use Old Spice.
No, he uses Axe.
American Eagle cologne.
He uses
the chocolate Axe.
He uses the chocolate where all the girls are biting chocolate, man. Do number. This is the most Bombad number. Do number 21 when you're legal.
21.
Okay.
It's the worst.
I can't say it. I was gonna say something really
21 is Coyote.
Woo! Look at that Conehead. Look at that uncircumcised forehead.
You got like the really detailed picture of his lightsaber. Nothing
So
else.
you read through this book? This is your book? This is like your thing?
This is one of them. Oh my God, I love this one.
Yeah.
And it's just like the ridges along the upper half of the handle allow for a firm two-handed grip. Hilt length, 26.60 centimeters. Hilt width,
this is so
4.5 centimeters. Material,
so pointless.
Durasteel. Blade color, blue or green. It addresses the
his
continuity
saber
error.
hilt or is that his
Wow.
Focusing crystal, variable blue and green Adagan crystals. Notes. As a species, Serarian prefer low-tech culture. Though Coyote Mundi was comfortable with modern technology, he still admired the simply Serarian ways. He purposely designed his lightsaber hilt without frills or accent. During his meditation, Coyote Mundi's dual or binary brain bonded with two crystals, thus his lightsaber carries both.
Oh, that's pretty sick. That's a really good way to write around that. That's brilliant.
I'm just saying.
Is it ridged for his pleasure, Jarod?
It is ridged for his pleasure.
I hope.
Connor.
Well, let's see Alea Secura's.
Where's
let me find it. I know she's in here. Oh, real quick, this isn't passing him. Darth Maul page.
Their boop. Oh my God, the centerfold. Wet.
Damn.
Dude, the Grievous is a four-way
Don't
centerfold.
let the principal catch you.
What are you looking at?
Put that in your science book. In your science book cover.
Yeah. Hold on. I'll find Ayla. Keep talking. I'll talk.
Isn't it beautiful that a teacher one day looked at Jarod and said, "You're gonna lose in Star Wars trivia publicly"? Isn't that cool? And a teacher looked at him and said that.
I dislike you. So real quick. Grievous.
Oh no. Let's see it. Spread them legs, Grievous. What?
Oh! Woo! Look at that spread. That is some Mike Concho action right there. My God.
Let me tell you one shit. I'm going to see some gold tigers on there, boy. Let me tell you.
Perfect. Right after Grievous is Ayla Secura.
Whoa. Connor, contain yourself, sir.
Here. This hilt is noted as much for its common simplistic design as it is for the threaded hand grip on the upper half of the handle. Now, it's funny that Connor said to do Ayla Secura because...
Oh, no. Oh, wait, do it again. Let me see it.
It's the same lightsaber.
Woo!
No way. That's hilarious. Oh my
Kai,
God.
Ayla.
Oh
Kai,
my god!
Ayla.
Is there any
What
difference?
the
I mean,
hell?
it's the same
No.
hilt, but so there's no difference. Oh my god, there's no difference. Literally none. That's incredible. That's Bombad.
Here's the notes. Ayla Sakura's extended assignments on Frontier Worlds with her master Quinlan Voss often kept her far from Coruscant. As such, she chose to construct a functional weapon that allowed for easy maintenance and upkeep. Unable to rely on the resources of the Jedi Temple within the field, Ayla Sakura made do with the common tool kits to keep her lightsaber maintained.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's neat. They also have in here for another character who has a continuity error, Aegon Kolar.
Okay, yeah.
So this one's actually really cool, and I read this in another book from my Star Wars childhood, The Life and Legend of Obi-Wan Kenobi, which is a really cool book.
This is funny because I was gonna say who would have thought, like, and I'm not even gonna diss you this time, it's just true. Your love of Star Wars does come down to the nitty-gritty aspect, and it comes down to the canon versus the, just the fun details like this. Like me, I enjoy this, but it appears that when you were younger, this was kind of your shit. Like this was it. Like
this is where I started. Yeah.
See, this is funny because you love trivia. You love the idea of knowing the most minute details just for the fun of it. And like, this is you now. And it's so weird. What we grow up with kind of manifests later if we allow it to. And this is beautiful. Like this, and I joke with you all the time, but this really is a beautiful thing. Like the fact that you really still have it, you love it. It is beautiful.
With the Aegon Kolar stuff, like I was saying, The Life and Legend of Obi-Wan Kenobi, really cool Legends book. It jumps back and forth between. So the premise of it is that it's Obi-Wan's journal from his time on Tatooine.
Okay, yeah.
Ooh.
It jumps back and forth between the present day in the third person of Luke reading the journal right before Return of the Jedi.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
And jumps into the first person of him of like Obi-Wan, like experiencing the events in the first person.
Oh, wow.
The crux of the book being Luke was like rummaging through Obi-Wan's stuff, finding the schematics for the lightsaber, and then was like, what's this?
Wow.
And
And that's how he builds it. Wow. I love that.
The cool thing with the Aegon Kolar continuity error is in the notes. This is really cool. And they touch on this in Life and Legend of Obi-Wan Kenobi because you see this gunship get shot down. Aegon Kolar and his young Padawan learner, Tan Euster, were two of the Jedi who accompanied Mace Windu on the mission to Geonosis that sparked the Clone Wars. Euster died in combat, overwhelmed by super battle droid forces. Kolar salvaged Euster's lightsaber and removed the blue crystal from its handle, eventually adding it to his own as a secondary blade in a gesture to honor the memory of his apprentice.
Oh, that's badass. That's really cool, actually.
Yeah. And he dies with his Padawan's crystal.
Yeah. Okay.
Depressing.
I did not realize that.
Very depressing. Yes.
Because I can see in the chat you're about to bring someone else in.
Yeah.
And I just, for my own selfish purposes, real quick, just want to say,
oh no,
this book is the reason why I have Star Wars tattoos.
Whoa! And I was going to ask you that because of your lights. Yeah. Holy cow!
Not even the lightsaber. This was the first time I saw this symbol.
Holy shit! That's awesome.
Okay.
Let's see it. Wow!
Look at that.
That's
Check
kind of
that
beautiful.
And it was also the first time, because the Sith have a few, it was also the first time I saw that version of the symbol for the Sith Order.
My dude Jarod, look at that. That's beautiful.
Duality.
That's right.
Yep.
That's why you're the Gray Jedi. You are
exactly
dark.
You're the
dark.
I
hate Gray
Dark
Jedi.
Gray Jedi
with that shit.
Sorry. You know I'm gonna start calling you Gray Jedi from here on
Scott,
out.
you're such an edgelord.
You just ruined it for yourself, Gray Jedi.
Scotty's always trying to do a kickflip and guzzling his Mountain Dew.
Well, Jarod doesn't realize that like I didn't mean to do it, and if he wouldn't have brought it to my attention, now it's done. I'm gonna make shirts. The gray. Oh my god, I'm so happy. Let's bring Connor in.
That's wildly inappropriate.
Yo, when did that happen? When'd you get your hair cut?
Yesterday.
Answer him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Every time I've seen you, like every time I see you, you have a hat on. God damn it.
Dude,
you made the mistake of saying that in front of Pete too.
I remember. Oh God.
Let me just
Mr. Clout is in the chat
for
okay?
1 week. Let me just have peace.
Oh, the gray Jedi.
I don't even start half of this shit anymore. I'm just defending myself.
Oh, that's funny. Oh my god! All right, Connor, I'm so sorry. Let's hear about your story, buddy.
What story?
You said bring me in. I mean, what the hell?
Oh wait. Oh yeah. The ultimate visual guide. The ultimate. Yeah, I think Jarod. I think that's the book you were talking about. The ultimate visual guide. Really, really tall book. Vader on the cover. Had this whole chronological dope ass timeline, dude.
It's a history book. It's a history book.
Yeah, basically. And as someone with a bachelor's in history, that shit was insane.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That was kind of basically my introduction to like the old Republic.
Dude, I straight up, and I could still do it today. That book and my familiarity with it, again, I was a kid who, shut up! Jesus Christ!
I knew he would do it. It was done. Oh, it's amazing.
What if? Oh God, this is terrible.
I never got. Most of the people around me weren't super into Star Wars, so I only had a handful of people who I shared that interest and passion with, and to make up for the small amount of people I could talk to Star Wars about, I just became increasingly knowledgeable about Star Wars. And most of the people I did get to talk to about it were adults who were 3 times my age, my uncles and my dad. So like I talked to them and I have this like whole back catalog of stuff that I know about that are like, what are you even talking about?
Yeah, I was the same way. I was pretty much like the biggest Star Wars fan in my family. I don't think I've ever said this on Bombadcast before. I'm a triplet. So that's fun.
Yeah, there's 3 more.
Whoa. There's 2 more of you?
2 girls, 1 guy. I'm the guy.
Yeah.
They are not like me at all. They are not into Star Wars like I am. I'm crazy. But I also remember that the Kenobi book. And there was a companion book with it about Luke Skywalker. Because I remember I got it in this like.
It was about Anakin, the rise and fall of Darth Vader.
That's what it was. Because like I got like this like. I wish I had it with me. It's back at home.
I also own the rise and fall of Darth Vader, but it's nowhere near as cool as the Obi-Wan one, and that's coming from a Vader stan. The Obi-Wan one is way cooler.
I need to reread those books because I got them in this like little 2-pack container where the flat where it was like a sort of you could pull up and pull back the flap and you had to like turn it over the container over to get them out. They weren't books that you took out from the side, they were from the top.
Yeah,
and I think I got them at the Scholastic Book Fair or something.
Yep.
So
here's another fun one with the Scholastic Book Fair, and I'm sorry, I was really hoping to get onto this because I love talking about like the books and the formative years.
Of course, and that's part of it, right? That's the big thing.
And Scotty, going back to what you said, it's like poetry, it rhymes. For as much as I love Star Wars on a thematic level, and I enjoy talking equal parts of how and why to keep using Alden's, binary there. We have the Versus series. That's what I was recording before I got here. We were doing the Knights of the Republic Versus series. and I loved who would win in a fight stuff as a kid. There was this one book. It was called Star Wars Head to Head, also written by the GOAT Pablo Hidalgo.
There you go.
Nice.
There you go, baby.
All of these wild ass Star Wars matchups. And again, it was post Sith, so we didn't have anything from the new canon. But like on the cover was Yoda versus Darth Vader, and then you go to so like the first matchup in the thing is Yoda versus Darth Vader, and they have like here's how their strength and speed and agility and durability match up to each other. Here are these bios. My favorite part is where it was like like the specifics on their weapons, and they give him like a special move was part of it for some reason. It was so cool. And then you go to the back of the book, and it would have an answer key as to who Pablo thought would win.
Wow!
Oh
my god!
Cool.
And I
just go tweet at
like
him.
a month ago.
No, please don't.
I'm still waiting on it, but I ordered a new copy of it so that we could do an episode on the book on KNR at some point.
Dude, oh my god, I need this book now.
And I know I'm still waiting on it. I'm trying to get a hold of the people I ordered it from. And I won't spoil anything, but I had like Vader versus Yoda, Darth Sidious versus General Grievous.
Yeah.
Kit Fisto versus Darth Maul.
Yeah.
Wow.
All that stuff. And my little sister, Kira, who like loves the Clone Wars. She loves the Clone Wars and loves Ahsoka. And they made a Clone Wars version of that same book, and she found it somewhere in the house. And while I was at work, this is several weeks ago, just kept sending me pictures of pages.
Oh, that's really sweet.
That's
super
Bombad.
And she was like, "Who do you think wins? Who do you think wins?"
Oh.
And I was like, and I was giving my opinion. There was one. I came home. I like ran up to her. I ripped the book out of her hands. I was like, "This is incorrect," because it said Cad Bane would beat Prey Vizsla, and that's horseshit.
Oh,
that is horseshit.
What?
Wait. All right. We're about to listen. It's a Bombad versus TNAP war
Pablo
now.
Hidalgo. But Pablo, how much did you have to drink that night when you wrote that down?
Listen, he's got a cool hat, okay?
Dude, Pre Vizsla has the dark saber.
Didn't help him out much, did it?
I know, that's true.
I guess not.
Jared, you have to tweet at Pablo now. You have to tweet at Pablo.
I'm going to. There's that they did a post Force Awakens head to head. I want to order that, but it's also like, but it's so outdated now because we're already past Rise of Skywalker. The part of me would like once peak Kylo Ren.
Sure, of course.
Something like that. But yeah, like you were saying, like I think this head to head book was like one of my favorite things as a kid, and then it translates to in my teen years. I get super into the Star Wars versus community.
Yeah.
Jen Sarai 1, Evan Nova 95,
Look at
Antoine Bandelay, Ready 4, Grey Jedi 91, 95, whatever the number was. And I got super into them and their content. I don't always agree with it. And I disagree with them on a lot of stuff when it comes to the new canon. They very much do not like the new stuff. And I think I don't agree with them.
Yeah.
But like that content, they're so good at it. And I've said openly, like I ripped some of them off with my Versus series, because they all perfected it. They perfected that medium. And it became like some of my favorite content on YouTube. So by the time I become a content creator, even though most of my model is based around discussing the material and news, I was like, well, on the side, I'm going to do some Versus stuff for the people who would be interested in it. And it's just so much fun. And like books like this, like I said, the lightsaber one, like the very first pages are the anatomy of a lightsaber.
Oh, that's sick.
I love that.
Right?
Dude, I was such a junkie with that type of stuff. Like the anatomy of a lightsaber, I will never forget. Like if everything didn't match up in like the new movies, I might have like lost it. But like thankfully I grew out of that like dude
they
bro
changed
phase,
so much though. But they did change so much, and I like what they changed more. I like the new version more, I think, because there's all the different kinds of crystals that were a little weird.
Oh no, I'm talking about like the mechanical setup of a lightsaber.
All that stayed the same.
Yeah.
Something
which I was
really
happy about. I was like, they can't change this. That would have been my red pill moment.
Yeah.
Question
of course it
The
would have
moment
been.
Connor got Q-pilled right there.
Yeah. Because of a goddamn lightsaber continuity error.
I sincerely thought I heard Pete's voice for a second, and I was like,
No, don't get excited.
No.
No. So wait, real quick.
Yeah,
fun
please.
Fun little bit from Legends. We all know how red lightsabers work in canon.
Yes. Make them
Wait.
You bleed the crystal. In Legends, all the crystals came pre-colored.
Okay.
You didn't meditate with it.
Yeah.
Red crystals did not naturally occur. They were synthetic.
Oh yeah.
Lightsaber crystals. And that was one of my favorite things about Legends because it was so emblematic of Sith philosophy.
Yep.
And how like they're dominating nature and forcing their will.
Yeah.
And then Charles Soule's like, fuck it, I'll make it better.
So good.
And Charles Soule did
Let's make the crystal sad.
Cool version.
Make the crystal sad.
Yeah. Make the crystal sad.
No, I'm joking. I love it. I love it so much.
Jarod, any final words? I'm gonna kick Connor out. Connor, you're a freak. Well, not a loser.
I'm gonna kick his ass Saturday night.
Man.
You think that, Great Jedi.
Hold on.
That being said, I got a message about a new image I'm going to show the show now. So weird. I wonder who made it.
What's going on?
Oh no.
Woo! Look at that.
Look at that Gray Jedi.
Didn't even use an image of me with a lightsaber, at least, man.
It's just him with his Boba Fett helmet.
That's Taylor's Boba Fett. It's not even my helmet. Listen, if I may, I have a message for my co-hosts going into Saturday. I wrote this ahead of time.
Don't say anything profane that Eli would normally say.
Stop. You know that they say that all men are created equal, but you look at me and you look at Spencer and you look at Connor and you see that statement is not true. You see, normally if you go one-on-one with another Star Wars fan, you get a 50-50 chance of winning. But I'm a genetic freak, and I'm not normal. So you got a 25% at best at beat me. Then you add Spencer Simpson to the mix. Your chances of winning drastic go down. See, the three-way on Star Wars in a Galaxy, you got a 33rd and third chance of winning. But I got a 66 and two-thirds chance of winning because Spencer Simpson knows he can't beat me. And he's not even going to try. So Connor Chiquiti, you take your 33 and one-third chance minus my 25% chance, and you got an 8 and one-third chance of winning at the Knights of the Nerd Republic Civil War. But then you take my 75% chance of winning. If we was to go one-on-one, then add 66 2/3%, I got 141 2/3 chance of winning at Knights of the Nerd Republic triple threat. You see, Connor, numbers don't lie, and they spell disaster for you at the Knights of the Nerd Republic triple threat.
Wow.
Woo! That's stubby math right there.
That was some long-winded fun.
Always.
My only response to that is this. So interpret that what you will. I'm glad you come on our show, do your shitty promos, and then still lose to me on Twitter. Stay Bombad, Jarod.
On Twitter?
No. So mad. The Gray Jedi. Look at this. I made this when he was battling. When he was battling on.
Look at that. Markion Rowe, color commentary, please. What do you think? What do you think his chances are?
Oh, God.
I think that Jarod stole what I said to Pan Eta check twitter.com or TikTok, and you will see that I cut that exact promo on Pan Eta. So, Jarod, if you can't even come up with your own original content, what hope do you have of beating the one-eye freak? Because as we all know, the eye is strongest of all.
Oh my God.
Listen, I'm coming. I'm coming.
You are what?
One-eyed cue ball. And the Boy Scout extraordinaire. And then row. I can't wait to come for your boy, the Study Island trivia champion of the world.
Sharing the wealth. He's coming for everybody.
I never thought I would be. I never thought Marcion Rowe would support me, but I really appreciate it.
It's not by choice.
About
it's
your
just
character,
I'd rather
Tom?
support you than Jarod.
What
My
does that say about
father,
your character?
Asgar, taught me to pick the winning side.
Someone pull up.
And so I'll never side with Jarod.
latest
Scotty
comment.
J-Ro for life.
That is
Stay Bombad,
incredible.
bitches.
That is incredible.
Stay Bombad. Thank you, Markion. Thank you, sir.
Well, we're gonna boot everyone off the screen. Stay Bombad, Connor. Gray Jedi. I'm glad
Stay
to know
stay Bombad.
found a new way
You're
to
a
get
rat
you.
bat.
What was he gonna say?
I don't know, but we should play a clip.
You're a
We haven't
rat
played in a minute.
bastion of society.
Let's induct the Gray Jedi by playing a clip.
This is your wake-up call. Time to reach, go for it all. Culture stirs inside of me, and I know what I can be. Limit is the sky. Hey world, watch me fly. The best part of waking up is soldiers in your love.
I hope everyone enjoyed their evening tonight. Jerry, I know you did. Jerry, should we just tell him who might be on
He's
next week's
alright.
episode? Should we just tell him?
If you want to, you want to give the whole. You want to
You
give the whole.
look like my grandma at Toys R Us. Like, what should I get, Grandma? This Bionicle or that Bionicle? And
I
all
don't
she
care.
says
Pick
is,
one so we can go to the register. I've got canasta tonight.
I got jazzercise, damn it! Oh,
I gotta get to the pool
well,
for aquatic jazzercise.
oh man. If anything, I'm happy to say that I'll reveal it this weekend. But I'm very thankful for everyone that joined tonight. Alden, Diaz. We had Alden Diaz. We had Boop and Heim, which I believe is the one who made the atom bomb. We also had Connor Chinchilla. We had
No. Connor.
Cincinnati?
Chihuahua.
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Okay, Chihuahua. That's how you pronounce it. Okay.
Chila-
Then we had
Chilachi.
Michael
Chilachi?
McCoy, and
Kai?
we then had our good friend Jarod the Gray Jedi.
Gray
Jedi.
Gray
Jedi. God, he's never gonna live this down. You shouldn't have corrected me. You really should have just kept rolling with it. This is how I'm going. I'm changing your contact.
He is being
right
just
now.
absolutely despicable.
I'm like,
in the,
right,
private
look
chat.
at this. I will do it live. Hold on. Let me go to the contacts here. 7 people. Look, it currently says, and I'm not gonna show his number.
Hold up.
Because not everyone needs to see it.
No,
Jared,
no,
the
careful.
Dark Jedi.
Be careful.
Watch, ready? Watch this. Jared, the
Scotty is doxing Jarod live on stream.
I'll still hide his number. Look,
Yes.
Jarod, the Gray Jedi. Look at that.
Jarod the Gray
Wow.
Jedi. Oh,
This
it's
is
beautiful.
awesome.
It's beautiful. You know what,
God.
Jarod? Oh, look, hold on. I'm gonna pull him back up real quick because we're getting his reaction live right
Gentlemen.
Oh,
He's not happy.
well, all I'm going to say is we will all be, not all of us, most of us will be present together in 2 weeks. We will be doing some content and
Privileged
celebration.
us.
Next week, we have our hype stream. We do have a special guest coming on and a brand coming on that's going to
Yes.
actually It's
Yes,
this is not a
Brandon
bit.
Flowers
God,
from The Killers.
I wish this wasn't a bit, because it really is it is real, 100%. That being said,
it is not a bit.
Everyone have a great evening, Jerry. What should our viewers do?
Yes, Brian.
Brian, I think
Brian Fennessy.
He's on a,
ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, Brian, love to see Brian here. That being said, Jerry, what should the wonderful people do?
I think the wonderful people should stay Bombad.
Did you say impossible? Pasquale? Only kidding, Chucky. I've changed my tune because I finally thought of a possible dream that we can all share.
What is it?
Pasquale? It's a dream about a world when nobody is poor or sick or hungry.
Oh, now that's a dream we can make come true.
I'm gonna make a change for once in my life. It's gonna feel real good, gonna make a difference, gonna make it right.
As I point up the collar on my favorite winter coat, this wind is blowing my mind.
I see the kids in the street with not enough to eat. Who am I to be blind, pretending not to see their need? A sour's disregard, a broken bottle top,
and a one-man soul. They follow each other on the wind, you know, 'cause they got nowhere to go. That's why I want you to know I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways, and no message could have been any clearer.
If you wanna make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make a change.
I'm starting with the man in the mirror.
Oh yeah,
I'm asking him to change his ways.
come on, change. No message could have been any clearer. If you wanna make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make a change. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. Oh yeah,
I'm asking him to change his ways.
no message could have been any clearer. If you wanna make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make a change.
Time for us to take a break, but we wouldn't dream of being gone for long. See you in a little bit.
You lost to us. You lost. Look, I'm gonna pull Jerry in. You lost to
We
Jerry.
beat your ass.
And that
I cooked my computer because I cooked your ass so good.
You just cooked his ass
Cooked
so
it like
good,
some baby back ribs.
and you just ate it. You just when you were done.
Punched your fucking butt. Excuse me.
No, I just love that the gray Jedi, it just got his bottom beaten.
He got spanked with our with our plastic lightsabers.
So bad. I want to. It's it's not even trivia anymore. I just want to fight you at this point. Is that against YouTube TOS? Am I allowed to say I want to hit this man? Am I allowed to do that? I want to slap the cigarette out of that monkey's hand. Don't clip that. I am untethered and my rage knows no bounds, and you're next.
A winner.
You're next.
A winner.
You're next, Newsy Cap. Right after you. You one-eyed bozo.
A loser. A gray Jedi loser. God, we're lucky. This is the reality we live in. He would probably Scarlet Witch us just to go and kill us in a different dimension.
Man, these Marvel post-credit scenes are getting more and more unhinged.
There's a better comparison. Put me on screen.
Okay, put them on screen, Scotty.
You're an asshole. I'll just talk from here. In the Spider-Verse story in the comics,
I'll do it.
The main villains are a family of interdimensional vampires that specifically feed on spider people. You are the Spider-Man to my Morlun. You are the Obi-Wan Kenobi to my Darth Maul.
It's Morbin time.
I'm about to throw my laptop at the camera. You son of a bitch.
Hey, mate. Who invited you here?
I'd see the private chat. Why are you guys so mean?